Real about to get to me. It was tight.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Get Lifted. 30 is the new 20. Hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. I'm La Hefa.
I'm smiling just what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we are live in the building. Um, oh, engage our audience. What does this mean? Oh, I can start a poll. I can do a whole bunch of little things up here. Last time when I was on studio, I didn't try to use any of this stuff. I didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, you get different options on the computer than you do on the mobile.
And I can share my screen so I can show y'all stuff, show y'all what I got going on here.
Oh, that's good. So then you could play some clip.
Okay. I could play some clips. Yeah.
So we have a few topics for you guys today. A lot of crazy stuff happening in the world. We're gonna start with on Tuesday. I this came across my social media, um, and I'm taken aback by it. I don't know how else to describe my reaction or my feelings about it, but this woman glued. She was arrested for gluing her husband's butt cheeks together. So apparently, she caught him cheating. She waited for him to fall asleep, and that's when she decided to take action. So I don't know how she was able to do that while he didn't wake up while while she was super gorilla gluing his cheeks together, but that's what she did, and he had to go to the emergency room. I'm pretty sure that wasn't fun, but she did get arrested for it. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, let's just say if a dude allows certain things to happen, like, and I'm not saying he allowed it because if you were asleep, you're not really allowing this to happen if you're asleep. You know what I mean? But I gotta be honest with you. You're not gonna be able to do something like that. I don't care. I don't care if I'm asleep. I gotta be in a coma. I gotta be under anesthesia. Like there's no regular way for this to just happen to a normal guy. Like this is just my opinion. I don't know the guy from Kenneth. I don't know anything about the dude, but I'm just saying in terms of how I look at things. I don't think that this is something that would have happened to me. I'm not gonna be that careless. I'm not gonna allow her to do that. And she would have to understand that this is something that's gonna really it's gonna hurt you as bad or if not worse than it hurt me. Because I'm just gonna keep it a bug. I'm gonna be violent. Like there's no other thing to say about it. And people say, oh yeah, but you're gonna be in so much pain. Listen, I've been in pain and still dish shit out. I've had my leg broken. I've had my leg ripped open, my thigh ripped open. Um, I've had broken fingers. I've had sprains. I don't think I've had anything really broken like to that degree, but I've had like injuries and I still push through it. I'm not saying that with this I'm gonna be in so much pain that I won't be. Nah, the only pain when I'm not gonna be able to do anything is like death. Like I'm losing blood so much that I'm like weak. I can't get up or something like that. If I'm hurting, and somebody did something to me, adrenaline goes crazy.
Well, you ain't gonna hurt right then. You ain't gonna hurt until they try to open it up.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to open anything up until I beat the shit out of you. Let's just keep it there. You know what I mean? Like I can't allow something like this to go on unpunished and just think like, okay.
Well, it is punished. He got arrested.
That's not enough.
It's not enough.
It's nowhere near enough. If you do something like that to a guy, there are consequences that are supposed to happen because you did that to this guy. And I think like a lot of times there's this thing where, okay, well, a man is supposed to protect women. You're not supposed to hit women under any circumstances. You're not supposed to fight women. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. But what protects men?
You can hit them if you want to.
Is there anything that protects men? Yeah, I'm talking about societal standards. Are there anything that protects men? Like what protects a man if a woman?
She got arrested.
What protects a man
if you beat her up and
your butt together? Are you okay to whoop ass?
You know you can't do that.
Or you just gonna fuck it. I mean, she did that, but I understand she was upset. She found numbers in my phone. No, it's no excuse.
No, she got arrested.
Well, she need to have her ass.
There was a punishment. It's not like
the punishment needs to fit the crime. But she went to jail and she's out the next day.
She got out the next day?
I don't know, but she's not going to be in here for no long enough time.
That's assault, probably.
You're not going to be in here for a long enough time to really appreciate the gravity of the situation.
Let's check.
You did something like that, you deserve to get your butt cheeks glued together.
Okay, so there you go. That's the resolution. Same thing that happened.
No, but they're not doing that. They're going to fucking put her in jail and man, you can't do this, and then let her go. That's unacceptable.
Where is it?
With my butt cheeks together and claws, and then just walk away. You're not walking nowhere after you did that shit. I want women to understand there are consequences that come with doing crazy shit to niggas. I don't care if a nigga cheated on you. I don't care if a nigga slept with your friend. I don't care if a nigga
her name was
did anything to you. I don't care what they did to you if it wasn't anything physical. They didn't physically harm you. You got no right because men have to practice, restraint.
Is this even real? I don't even see. All I see is on social media.
Huh?
I only see it on social media.
Oh, so we don't even know if it's legit.
There's no news article about it.
There's a news article about it?
No.
Oh, there is no news article.
There was a situation in August 4th of 2009 where 4 women, including the man's wife, this is a separate thing, and they glued his penis to his stomach.
I think I heard about that one too. Same energy. You doing something like that?
You glue the penis and then what?
I'm gluing your lady into your thigh. Like whatever. She gonna be sweet. Well, you have to break up with the nigga after. You gotta break up with the dude after you do that. You can't stay with him and just think it's gonna be okay. If you stay with him and you think it's gonna be okay, then it probably is okay. He probably is the type of dude you can get away with stuff like that with. I'm not the type of dude you can get away with stuff like that with. It's gonna be. I don't say this to scare women, but when women tell me stories like, "Oh, I beat his bitch up," or "I did this," or "Yeah, this nigga, oh, I fucked that nigga up," or "I got hands like a dude," or whatever. When women say all of that stuff to me, I just make a face. I just be like, okay. And sometimes they be big dudes. They be They be dudes that probably would give me a problem if I had to get an altercation with gentle giants, I guess. You know what I mean? But he a better man than me because I'll tell you what, I don't give a fuck. And I don't feel bad about it because it's like, yo, like, first of all, you gotta understand the level of restraint that I'm going to give you in the beginning of this situation. I'm giving you an extreme level of restraint. I'm not gonna really do anything to hurt you until you hurt me physically. If you hurt me, break my heart, you cheat on me with another dude, you might be good. So you might be good. You might be good, like for real. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. Like you might be good. If you cheat on me with a dude, hell, if you cheat on me with one of my friends, you might be good. You know what I mean? But it's gonna be some level of get back to this shit.
Major comeback.
It's
Major
gonna be a level
get
of get
back
back
from
to
a
it.
mindset.
If you cheat on me with one of my peoples, then it's gonna be a level of get back. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna flatten your tires or something like that. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna think of a way that I could really make you feel what you just did. And that friend is no longer my friend, obviously. Like that's he's not a friend if he fucked with my girl, you know what I mean, and I'm with her. That's not a friend. It's not a friend at all.
Absolutely.
I can't be a party to that and say, oh well, rules before hoes. Bro, your girl is not a hump. Your girl should be somebody that you really care about. You know what I mean? If you made her your girl. So no, she's off limits. Like that's the only one that's off limits. But if you do something physically to me, and I got a list. You know what I mean? You burn me, you hit me with something, you stab me. You hit me with your car.
Hit you with a car. See, people is crazy
because like I'm just saying obvious. Well, maybe it's not obvious because some dudes will still not beat you up. You know what I mean? I'm telling you things that I would beat up a man for, right? But like a woman, I'm just gonna say these are things I would beat up a human for. Because it don't matter whether you're a man or a woman. If you hit me with your car, I don't ever want to see you in life. If you hit me with your car by accident, I was reckless, I was at fault, I'm gonna have to calm down before we have a conversation. I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. You know what I mean? Because in the moment, adrenaline and all of that, I'm gonna probably try to fight. I'm gonna try to, you know what I mean? But like you're on a motorcycle, somebody hits you or something like that. Those are one of those things where it's like, yo, you can't think clear, like the trauma is immense. But like, like I said, things that you could walk away from, you walk away. If a girl punched you in the face and knocked you out and you wake up and she drew mad penises on your face and put it on Instagram, that's what people do now. They draw penises on your face and put it on Instagram.
Is that what they do?
Hmm?
Is it? That's what they do?
Blue Facebook. The baby mother.
He drew a penis on her face.
Several. And put it on Instagram. Like that's a fight.
Well, she's a woman.
She ain't gonna fight him, but she should. Stab him or something.
Well, you said baby mother, was that Krishan or his other baby?
Nah, that was the other one. Sean probably wouldn't even have happened for Sean. He know better. But he did it to the one that he could beat. He probably bought, Sean's one. Well, he gained some weight. So he might be able to take her, good. Like she might not be able to fuck her. You know what I mean? But before she was holding her home and it was fighting.
Yeah, and now she's a boxer.
She probably could still take it, huh? She got a better career than the two boxers. She athletic. Like I wanna fuck with her. Like she one of them drones that I can't see myself getting an altercation with. Because you already know what time it is. Huh? I said she one of them drones that you can't really see yourself getting an altercation with. She look like she hold her own. You know what I mean?
She crazy. And her sister too.
I'm afraid of this one.
I mean, she's still a woman at the end of the day, but you're gonna have to fuck her up for real. Like you can't if it get to that.
Okay.
If they get to that, then you gonna have to whoop her ass. You can't just hit her and just hold her. You gonna have to like, put her ass to sleep or some shit.
I don't want to ever be in a situation where I have to put my hands on my shorty.
Yeah, you can't feel like
words. Like, you don't put your hands on nobody for saying something that you don't like. That's never an excuse. But I'm gonna keep it a stack with the fellas. Like I already know, women know what to say. Women can press button. You know what? A lot of niggas point where they feel like I'm not gonna what you call it? I'm not gonna say I can't say nothing or I'm gonna get mad like about this situation, right? Is when a woman talks about how well endowed they are. That for a lot of men, that like scratches a nerve. Like that's probably like a big thing. Some niggas might say, "No, that's not true, right?" Bro, if she talk about your shit and you know your shit, little pause, you're gonna feel some type of way, bro.
Yeah, it's the ego.
I've heard niggas beat the shit out of a chick because he said something about their joint.
But they just be killing me because like they only say that shit when you get mad. You was fucking him before. Well, excuse me.
But it probably still listen. Without doing too much sex ed, you know what I mean? I mean, sorry, X ed. Sorry, YouTube. Without doing too much of that, we can just understand this. That certain things, doing a podcast. Who's that?
Who is that? What are you doing?
That's no. Oh, what's your job? Oh. Certain things that that come up with men and when they're dealing with anybody, we have a really ego about ourselves. We have pride, you know what I mean, whatever. Certain things can tip that, but you have to, like, as a man, we're taught stoicism. We should be taught stoicism. Some of us are taught it, some of us just learn it. Some of us need to learn that from being around other men. Because patience is a virtue, it really is. So certain things we can deal with it. We can be, that's where that ain't that don't really matter. But when you're dealing with the woman that you're supposed to protect and all this other shit, and she emasculates you, that can fuck your shit up. You know what I mean? In that relationship wise, just how you feel about yourself is important. It's important how comfortable you are with yourself. Because if you're not comfortable with yourself as a man, it's gonna be hard for you to be comfortable with the person that you're trying to be in a relationship with. Now you in a relationship with a chick and she say you got a little joint and like what I'm sorry, La Hef, I said if you in a relationship and you've been smashing the dude, you're attracted to him for other reasons other than that in some cases. Now, that may be different for you. But I'm telling you that a lot of women will deal with a dude because there's more than just that. Some of things that they're dealing with are good or, it's better than what they're used to. And so this is the small thing that they have to, no pun intended, that they have to deal with in the meantime, right? And then pause also. And then they have to find another person on the side. They might or may not. They could be a stand-up shorty that's just being tolerant. And you actually care about the dude. You love the dude. He might have a small joint, but pause. But y'all got a kid.
What I'm saying is it don't make sense to bring it up if you already been dealing with him.
That don't mean you can't have a kid. So you can still have a small joint. Pause. Every time I say it, I'm gonna say pause, so y'all gonna get mad. But you still had a child with this dude. Some women are virtuous women and look outside of that. It is what it is. We got a kid together. He get diapers, he do this, he do whatever. Now she might cheat or might not. If that's a deciding factor in your relationship. Because if he can't satisfy you one way, he could obviously try to satisfy you in other ways in the bedroom. You know what I mean? That's between you and him. But they make it work. So now let's go to this point. Well, if you knew he had this, y'all got a kid, y'all locked in. Now,
I'm saying there's no need to bring it up.
Just
because you mad.
Clearly what?
No, because if you knew that already, so don't get mad and then bring.
Ain't getting mad.
I'm responding. You had I don't know, because I don't say that to people. I wouldn't say that to nobody. I think it's stupid. If we're arguing about something, I'm gonna talk about the argument. I'm not talking about how big your penis is, because if I had a problem with the size of your penis, I'm not just gonna bring that up just because we arguing about something else. That's stupid. It doesn't make no sense. Or whatever other issue that you got that don't got nothing to do.
That's for you as a woman. You feel like that's stupid. Like I would never do that shit. Like I don't even sense I'm dealing with you, which is logical. But to the men, when women say something like that, just understand this is out of anger. She's trying to hurt you. It's not. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You able to get the job done. She's still fucking with you though.
That's why it's stupid, because you're the one that looks dumb. You saying that, but he's still hitting it. So it's like you.
And the dude, and if the dude respond with that, let's just be real. The dude respond with that, he not worried because he's still fucking other niggas. Like, let's just keep it a stat. If you feel that way, you feel that way. But other chicks still want him to come around. He not giving them all the shit that he dealing with you. He not dealing with that with other women, and they not complaining about his quote unquote small shit. And it may be small to you because you might be a hoe. You might have had niggas that's 12, 13, and you used to it. So small to you might be 9. Small to you might be 8. Small to you might be 7. Not knowing the average is 6. Pause. I just know my shit. So like, if you have an issue with your man in certain areas, because that's not really what this is about. This is just about a woman hitting a man where it hurts. This is one of the areas. She's saying, well, shit, she already fucking you, so it don't make no sense for her to say that anyway, my nigga. Like, nigga, don't even, And I'm saying the same thing. Yeah, it's water under the bridge, my nigga. She just trying to hurt you because you still gonna do makeup stuff. Because she at least wants you to scratch it, whatever you can do, whatever you've been doing with it. She wants you to keep doing that. Because it got her a baby, or it got her in the door, or it got her staying with you, it was enough. You know what I mean? Just to keep it at that. at that basis, just to understand, like, yo, women are going to say things out of emotion sometimes that may offend you. We could say people, but I'm just saying for men to understand that, because again, we talking about men were taught or should have been taught something called stoicism. So you got to be able to hold your composure under times of duress in some cases, because a lot of that it takes that training for certain jobs that you're probably going to have in the future when you become a man. You're going to be doing something that you can't hold under pressure. You can't be worried about your girl broke up with you when you on an oil rig. Like, you feel me? Like, you take time off work if you have to, but keep your mind on the job, because motherfuckers don't make it out of this motherfucker sometimes. So you want to be careful. Just understanding, like, there's pressures in life and pressures in relationships, and as men, it's difficult. We shouldn't really conflate those situations. It may be hard to move forward, but we still got to move forward because it's a bigger purpose for us than some of those situations. Some of those situations are just trials. Like, you know what I mean? I went to church today, and a part of that sermon, he said everybody has trials, and like, it's just how you deal with them. And because the topic was men, it was about Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to the fathers out there. This is gonna be about y'all a lot.
Yeah, happy Father's Day.
The understanding that men have trials, and even though you may not be up to the task, you have to try to elevate yourself to be up to the task. Sometimes there's nobody to teach you how to do it. You got to figure it out on the fly. So in these situations, when you're dealing with a situation in a relationship and somebody does something outside of you getting butt cheeks glued together, if Shorty says you got a small joint, that's not a reason to give her a crack. You know what I mean? It's not. And I know that motherfuckers will feel some type of way. She don't got proof. You know what I mean? Like, you just say, yo, prove it. You know what I mean? And then she'll have to prove it. You know what I mean? She can't put your shit online and shit because then you can sue her. You know what I mean? Just think about other ways, you know, because they think about other ways because they can't beat us physically sometimes. So words do hurt, and women know what violence is. Especially, you've been dealing with the dude. You know what he like, what he don't like. You know he play that PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 all the time and shit. You know how he's got his character saved on it. You know if you throw that shit in the bathtub, it's gonna ruin his life.
He going
he might hurt you.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell a dude that's not a good reason.
If she glue your butt cheeks together,
the butt cheeks thing is a good reason. The butt cheeks thing is a good reason, pause. But your PlayStation is not in court. I'm saying butt cheeks shit. You could actually,
yeah, because you could really be hurt.
You could say attempted murder, or you know what I mean. You could do all types because certain things can happen that you may, you know what I mean. But you got a defense if you do something to her in that case. She throw your PlayStation off.
How often are male victims of domestic abuse taken seriously? Because do you view this as domestic abuse?
This is extreme. This is not a woman smacked you because you cheated on her. She went through your phone. I mean, that is still the same thing, but this is not that. This is like she's comfortable with doing something so heinous to a person because she's upset.
I don't think
it's acceptable. That's a problem, right? If emotions drive the majority of your decisions, that is a problem. That's a big problem. She's so hurt that she had to physically cause pain to him because her emotional pain is physically damaging to her psychologically. That's how women think. That's an example of how a woman thinks. She might not be the average. She might not be every woman. She might not be you. But on average, these situations happen so often where a woman is capable of physically doing something to you because she cannot control you. She cannot make you do something. She wants you to feel something that she feels, and she wants to go to an extreme to achieve it because this is all that she can do. And it goes further beyond just the emotion because she won't do this to a woman in most cases. Like some women will be upset with a woman, but won't physically harm her in certain cases out of fear that, oh, it's fair game, bitch. You know what I mean? When you put your hands on me, now I can fuck you up. And it just be self-defense. And it just be regular. It don't be no domestic because I'm stronger than you and you hit me and we was going back and forth. I'm gonna get more time because I'm the guy. I'm the more dominant, you know what I mean, of the two. You know what I mean? I'm gonna end up on top in that situation, so it just doesn't make sense to do it and to scuffle with a guy, right? In most cases, I would say sometimes we see things online. We see a dude with a woman getting the best of them or something like that. A man that's not really trained or a man that hasn't had altercations with other men, you know what I mean, may behave a certain type of way. I've had fights with men. I've had several fights with men. I've had very few fights with women. And if I did have a fight with a woman, it was because I was like a kid. I was like fucking younger than middle school. You know what I mean? But as a man, I've had enough fights with men to realize that it's really unfair to have a fight with a woman. To the extent of how far I'll go in an altercation with a man in comparison to what a woman is willing to do in an altercation. There's some women that's some gorillas. Like there's some women that's crazy. Like they'll bite a plug out of you. Like they're not gonna give up. Like whatever they can do, they before they go get the knife, they've done so much damage to you. Like I know those beasts. You know what I mean? And I say it.
Do you think she should face jail time for that? And Absolutely. If the roles were reversed, would the public reaction be different?
No question.
If a man glued a woman's cheeks together, would it be more backlash or?
Should he give? Okay, so.
Well, two questions. Should she face jail time? And again, I don't think this is a real story because I looked it up.
Yes,
and it's not.
She should face jail time. Next.
Well, how much time do you think she should get for gluing her husband's cheeks together?
That's a small offense.
Is it? That could really hurt you because he's gonna need to get that surgically.
In the sense of we don't really have a placement for this particular thing.
That's like assault.
It is assault. Is it mischief?
Because that's gorilla glue. That's like industrial strength.
Is it sexual assault? Like, what would you consider this?
I think it's just assault.
Well, there's so many things
they have to surgically.
Because in court, you got to think about it. It's like a fucking, what was that thing we used to do in school when we come up with topics? You did
a Venn diagram.
No, the circle, you put the little things, the spider web thing. What was that? The spider web things. You put the lines out, and it's something else right there, and then in the middle is one big topic in the middle or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it.
That shit, right? Some of y'all nerds out there, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about, but whatever. That fucking thing you used to do. That's how it is with like, okay, let's just say this. There's like a line, right? There's a line of things or a chart of things that lead up to a certain thing. So like saying like this, if this happened, then 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 this happened, as a byproduct of this,
it's assault and battery.
Then that makes sense. Okay.
If
this situation had a chain of events that occurred after that particular event, then I would say that, yeah, this makes sense. But just by itself, it's something, just by itself.
Yeah,
right?
It's assault and battery. Any unwanted, harmful, or physical contact that is done without consent is assault and battery.
Right. So, and that'd be like 5, you know what I mean? I don't know, 3 to 5. I don't know what they get for that. It's not forever. If you get a decent amount of time, first offense goes like that. What's the minimum?
Sentencing for assault and battery. It varies widely depending on severity of the offense, the extent of the injury, and state laws. Penalty range from probation and minor fines for simple misdemeanor to decades in prison for aggravated felony level offenses. Simple assault and
aggravated. You did it again.
simple assault and battery generally applies to first-time offenses or other cases without weapons or serious injury. That is serious injury because you're gonna pull your skin off. They're gonna have to get a skin
what they
graft.
saying, but it is for you.
Aggravated assault and battery. There are aggravated factors such as use of a deadly weapon,
you have to try to prove all these other things
severe bodily harm, or if the victim was a vulnerable individual, he was asleep, so that's vulnerable.
You saying that?
That's what happened.
Well, listen to what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it. I'm reading it. I'm saying if you're asleep, you are vulnerable because you
all of those things that you're saying, because they said that is assault and battery. The minimum that you're gonna get is probation or a fine. Period. Because that's what you did. But if you got a really good lawyer and you could put up other things that she did that led up to this, you can get other charges added on to that charge to add time to that. It's not gonna be what you said, the last one that you said aggravated. It's not going to be aggravated unless you add it on to what the initial charge is. The aggravated.
What it says for aggravated says apply if there are aggravating factors, so that the use of a deadly weapon. Let me finish what it's saying. That's one thing. Severe bodily harm, or if the victim was a vulnerable individual.
People that's listening gotta understand. People that's listening. That's what I'm saying, because you're reading all these shits. It's just one thing to understand. For all of these things, it has to be added on to the charge.
That is a part of the charge.
Okay, but this is what I'm
severe bodily harm. That could be severe.
Assault and battery is a
have
charge.
to get a skin graft.
Assault and battery is a charge.
Because you're gonna have to rip your
aggravated assault is a charge, etc. Right? If you are charged with assault and battery and that's all they give you, listen. Just listen for a second.
I didn't say anything. I'm listening.
When they give you one charge, which is assault and battery, they give you that charge. What your minimum for that charge is going to be that. If they say plus aggravated assault, that will be added to that because of the severity of it. But it would just be
not assault. Plus. They're different. There's different types of sentencing. So it depends what was the scenario. It's not plus. It's either one or the other, unless there was extra stuff.
You're going to get sentenced on is if it's beyond what the initial charge for that crime is. If it's not beyond that and first offense, you normally get the lesser of whatever it is. Normally, under normal circumstances, there has to be abnormal circumstances. One, premeditation. There's all other things, motive and motivation to do whatever you did, and then also saying that you're going to do it and then pretending nothing happened. There has to be a led up thing. There has to be other charges on top of this charge to make this charge actually stick to a first offender. We don't know if she's a first offender or not, but I'm just saying for this particular situation, because you said, what should the maximum penalty be for this? What do I think it should be? What I think it should be and what, that was the question before. What I think it should be and what it is are two different things. And what I'm saying is just to elaborate, if this person does this, this is what the charge is. Depending on the severity, it could be this.
Yeah, so these are different. It's not adding on. They're each separate.
But you can get all of those together.
Yeah, but they're separate.
More time.
On what
your lawyer is going to try to attach multiple charges to the initial charge.
I'm saying if they glued your teeth together, that could be considered aggravated assault and battery alone, because that could cause severe bodily harm. That's one of the examples that it said. Or if you're in a vulnerable position, the guy was supposedly asleep when she did that. That's a vulnerable position. So I'm saying that could be the charge itself. And then whatever else happened, then you can add an extra charge. But I think it would be that one, because you gotta have to have surgery.
If it's a good lawyer, it would be that one.
But if you know the law, it doesn't.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes they don't give a fuck. They just want, you know, hey, I'm just doing my job. I'm a public defender, and sometimes motherfuckers want to win. I would say that you want to win, but I'm just saying, like, it depends on how easy the case is. In most of these cases with women, it does get watered down. They will give her a smack on the wrist. They're not going to give her the full extent of the law in most of these cases. That's why I said when you say how much time should a person get for that,
that's not most of the cases.
they should get fucking 3 to 5 fucking years for doing it, or at least one. No, I say at least 1 year. They should get at least 1 year guaranteed for doing some stupid shit
and
like
for
that.
aggravated assault,
You know what I mean? Because that's crazy, my nigga.
That holds from 2 to 15
and
years.
for a nigga doing that, yeah, a nigga doing that should get 5 years or more. Because I'm gonna say why I think a nigga should get more time for this. Some people probably not gonna agree. A dude should get more time for it for the simple fact that you've been dealing with this woman to let it get to that point. If it's a prank, you grind. You know what I mean? But if it's like just like, you know what I mean, you mad at her, so you doing it to be spiteful, I can't, that's not manly. That's not stoicism. Like, how did you glue? Like, you know what I mean? Like, one thing we mad at the dude who put his hands on the woman, you know what I mean, in a crazy manner, right? But then you got gluing her shit together. That's crazy. A chick, that's crazy. She should get, if not the same amount of time that the nigga would get for that, because that's crazy. That's that. But then you also, well, what did he do to her that further, you know what I mean? Because I always ask that question, what did she do? This dude shot her and shot himself. Why would he do that? You know what I mean? I asked that question presented with situations like that because that intrigues me. Definitely to a degree, because I'm thinking to myself, I don't ever see myself taking the mother of my child away from me. No matter our differences, I'm always gonna have a place in my heart. And see, for me, because I don't have that, I think that I would be so lucky to actually have that, because I think if I do, it would be with the one that I wanted to be
with. It should be.
It should be, but it's not always.
Right.
So then if you make your bed, you lay in it, I understand that risk as well. But I'm saying, like, if I'm dealing with the person months, years, then yeah, that's what I want. Eventually, I might not be ready for it, but if it happens, if it's a mistake, it's not really a mistake because it's with the person that I see myself doing that. I spent this much time, I taking these risks. This person is worth this risk. But what I also understand is that once this happens, she might not understand it, but I understand that now I have an obligation that I can't walk away from. She can't walk away from. She might want to walk away from it, but she can't. You know?
Shaking my head. Well, people, don't do that. Don't glue your man's booty cheeks together, okay? Because that is.
Don't do that. And don't have a kid with a crazy nigga. Because like it's so many L's that you're gonna have to deal with in that situation. Because you might think he's just crazy in love.
Yeah, some people be saying dumb stuff like shoot me so I know it's real, or I don't know. People is crazy.
Like I say this, like if
or beat me so I know it's real. Like they like the drama.
If he gets to a point where he feels like he has to put his hands on you to get his point across, leave and don't look back. There's no excuse for anybody to be physically violent with you to get their point across. Now, if he says things that hurt you, you know what I mean? People hurt people. with words. You want to reevaluate it, you know, because he's saying things directly to try to get under your skin, to make you feel less than. You don't deserve that. And I'm not on some what's that nigga name? Derek Jackson. I'm not on some Derek Jackson shit. I'm on some right is right, wrong is wrong type of shit. And I would say the same thing for men. Don't be dealing with no woman that's gonna be saying some crazy shit to you. Because I'm not pandering. I'm on some shit where it's like, if you really care about Shorty and you with her, and you know, even if you cheated, or even if you cheating, and you still with her, you holding her down, you still care enough about her, because I understand. You care enough about her that you're not gonna let nothing happen to her. She, you know, she always your bottom joint. Like she there for you no matter what. That's definitely you part type. You feel me? The other joints are just joints. You know what I mean? I understand that shit, but I don't understand when you gotta put your hands on her. You don't gotta put your hands on her, but I'll tell you one thing: it's not one sided. She don't gotta put her hands on you. And if it's one thing that I do agree with, it is fairness, and that's equal rights, equal lefts. And niggas that know what that means. Like, you feel me? You do not touch a motherfucker and act like you don't know what the consequence is that comes with putting your hands on a man. And that goes to men. You don't touch a motherfucker and not know the consequence that comes with you putting your hands on a man.
What Fabulous said? Mama said, hit you better. I don't know. He said a line about that we all heard. If they hit you, you better hit them back. But yeah, don't be starting.
Right.
I mean, well, and if you a woman, then don't be trying to fight with no man, and don't like.
What's the motherfucker name? The boxer, the black boxer nigga. I'm not telling you to go out here and pack y'all bitches, for lack of another boxer. So I can't even think of the top. I think I would knock out artists. But I was thinking of the heavyweight black dude, if y'all remember the thing. But anyway, I'm not telling y'all to tell your child to go out here knocking niggas out or knocking women out. You know what I mean? Or choking the death out of them or some shit. You know? I'm not telling you to do that. What I'm saying is, if she is trying to cause bodily harm to you, I feel like you could disarm her, whatever that looks like to you. If it's a front kick, if it's clipping her, you want to do a little sweep, you know what I mean? Show her your martial arts skills, whatever. You know what I mean? If you want to do a hip throw, you know what I mean? You know, some judo. If you want to chop her in the throat. If you want to give her a Mongolian chest slap. You know what I mean? Whatever you got to do to disarm somebody that's trying to take your life. Notice I said somebody that's trying to take your life. Then you handle your business accordingly. I don't think nobody would disagree with that. Now you got to think about your size. You got to think about, you know, I'm much larger, I'm much stronger, whatever. You also thinking about that. Also understand, okay, the responsibility is for me to have restraint. We were talking about a comic book character, Spider-Man, some of you may know. And we're talking about how he doesn't use his full strength. He restrains himself from his villains. He would be way better. He would lose less fights because he doesn't even get whooped. And then all of a sudden he can end up on top. Bro, you had that strength the whole time. Why you ain't just do it in the beginning? Because you be trying to be nice with these dudes. Like, these dudes be mad strong, yo. Like, they can take it. Beat their ass, bro. You know what I mean? But nah, he be trying to restrain himself. So look, I'm saying this. Men probably can push themselves a little bit further than women can physically sometimes. Some guys, a 200-pound man plus in comparison to a 200-pound woman, it's a big difference because there's the biological strength that comes with that. Just testosterone just makes you stronger for some reason, and it's built in. So he has that driving force of adrenaline or energy that he has inside of his body, on top of whatever mass he has. And women have something that they can tap into as well. But because of the modestness of a woman. She's unable to push herself past that without becoming emotionally overwhelmed. And that emotional overwhelming is what stops her from reaching the point that we can. I don't know. I don't think so. But
So yeah, guys, please don't do crazy things like that. It's not worth it. If he cheats on you and you can't move on, then don't do that. Just
and
stop
vice
dealing with
versa.
him, I guess. And you know,
I don't want to hear no men out here gluing chicks butt cheeks together. I'm a flamer.
or their
I'm a really be like, bro,
or their lips.
you grinding, bro.
But so unfortunately, in West Haven, there was 2 unalive, 1 injured, um, at a bar in West Haven, Connecticut. Why do these stories keep becoming normal headlines? Like it's like every week in general, not just in Connecticut, but it's sad because we live in Connecticut. So like it's happening everywhere, and it's like every other week or every multiple times a week, somebody got stabbed, somebody got shot, somebody body found, something like I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So there was some altercation at a bar in West Haven. 2 people lost their life. I don't have any details of the people's names, but it was on the news, and we're actually familiar with this location that it happened at.
Let me start by saying this. My heart goes out to the people that lost their life and those injured. Definitely. Um, I feel like situations like this can always be avoided with a voice of reason. I don't think there's any situation that needs to come to bloodshed unless it's met with bloodshed. Because look, violence only begets violence. That's how it happens. It happened from a violent act. Words are the sword that usually people fall on. You know what I mean? And it's sad because we can control ourselves a little bit better. Going back to this stoicism, man, this is your day. You know what I mean? And I think it's important to acknowledge how valuable fathers are when it comes to situations like this, because I don't know if these guys that lost their life had children. You know what I mean? Because we don't have a lot of information about it because this just happened last night. But I know, like, I wish that the person that did it could reverse the situation and just think about it, like, what could have been done differently in this situation to teach this to other people. Because I really want to believe that a lot of times dudes don't really want to pull that trigger. I really want to believe that a lot of times dudes don't want to go that far. But it gets there because somebody is a battery in their back and they're not really telling themselves, nah, it's not a good idea. Sometimes it's for clout. And sometimes it's like, yo, I'm like this. I gotta stand on this. Like I'm not an upstanding guy. I'm not a turn the other cheek. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not that. Like I'm really about that life, and I'm about to prove it. Now I get an opportunity to prove it. It's been a long time. You know what I mean? Right. And I feel like in these situations, they do that and they regret it. They all regret it. They all talk about it again later on and they regret it.
Yeah, rest in peace to the ones that we lost, and to the person that was injured. Hope you recover safely, and prayers go out to the family of the lost one. Do you think violence is becoming desensitized in America, or is it already desensitized?
Right. I was going to ask you that. Is there another part to that question?
No, I just added that.
Well, thank you for adding that in there because that's probably my answer if it wasn't added in there. Um, because yeah, violence is not new. Violence isn't something that people just picked up. I think violence is the nature of man. Men are by nature savage beings, but we've learned civility over the years. We've learned um, manners, respect, integrity, leadership, um, morals that their military is based upon. Supposedly, the structure inside the military is based upon this structure. You have to have these qualities. You're not supposed to lie. You're not supposed to do any of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, this is the type of person that you're supposed to be. Because leaders create leaders, do they not? Right?
They should, you would think.
Let's go backwards. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad created Malcolm X. The Reverend prior to Martin Luther King, when Martin Luther King went under his fellowship as his apprentice, he then became the minister and then went forward with his ministry. You have everybody had somebody that they followed before them that set a pretty good example for people to walk in their footsteps. But then when you're a good leader, you can figure out ways to do things yourself. I mean, you can what's the word? Uh, you can coordinate, for lack of a better word. You know, that's from the late great John Witherspoon.
Gotta coordinate.
Yeah, you can add a little bit onto it. You know what I mean? I'm drawing. I'm having
a brain fart.
I'm having
a brain fart.
Now I want to say something clever. I'm having we seen one earlier. Was, I'm having an albino.
I don't know what that means because just because they're albino, that don't. Yeah, but they don't. That don't mean that they.
But so what? So what, yo?
Listen, I don't have. I'm not colorist. We're not colorists.
But if I can say blind moment, you know what I mean? And black people not blind unless they albino. You know. But anyway, shout out to my albino. Shout out to my niggas that I know. I got friends with them. Shout out to y'all. Y'all know you talking mad shit. I do with a couple, like maybe 3.
Cause it's a rare condition.
And it just happened. You know, we grew up together. You know, I don't just be seeing them. Cause I don't be like, when I was younger, it was different because people was telling me they were black, and I was like, what?
It is black.
No, both of their parents were black.
I know they are.
But black. That's what I'm saying. That shit fucked me up. It's not gonna fuck you up. They got green eyes and shit, and they got blonde hair, and they was born like that.
They don't always have green eyes.
Sometimes their eyes be different colors, bro. Sometimes their eyes be regular. They hair be blonde, and they eyebrows be blonde.
Yeah, because their hair,
their face be blonde.
Their hair is blonde, so every hair that grows out of their body is gonna be blonde, because that's their natural hair color.
They're the fucking coolest. We should have more albino rappers. What's his name?
I have no idea.
We should have a lot. I think they put the thing on like you got to be a certain level of artist, and they get artists that's really not that great, but they got a fan base for them. We should support albino artists as a
We
group.
should support
We
artists
should
that
support artists that are talented. But if an albino artist come out, even if he's not that good, I'm gonna support him because I want to see it. I'm gonna do a track on him. I'll write his verse. I'm gonna make him my plan. You need it. But anyway, what I'm saying is you gotta coordinate. You gotta adapt. I'm trying to. Oh my god, what is the word?
gotta blend.
Blend is another good one. That was a few more. So see, I'm trying to be expert. I don't know. I like to teach people words and just But now I'm getting up here, so now I'm starting. Yeah, I'm gonna start reading more. But anyway, yeah, we gotta be as people, we just have to do better. And I think doing the right thing is like it's so hard to do the right thing, but then it's like, all right, because the right thing always seemed like mad work. Like put it like this, like I'll tell you, like the care.
Because it's easier to do the wrong thing than the right thing, because most of the time the
wrong thing is convenient. Most of the time.
Yeah, it feels good too. You get satisfaction.
Well, in some cases there's satisfaction, but in some cases the wrong thing is convenience. Like, and we're not gonna talk about.
It's easier to do the wrong thing.
Like entering the store from the exit because of your parking space. Instead of going
because you lazy. The door right next to it.
That's what I'm saying. People want the option to do whatever they want.
And now you gotta. Now it's people
exit.
coming. Now it's people coming
now
out.
I'm gonna put my fingers in the automatic door and make it open.
And I gotta move out the way because now it's people coming out, and I'm in the way.
I'm not walking all the way over there, man.
The door right next to it.
The door's right here. I'm going to the exit.
But
if it's like mad close, then you just don't know.
Or throwing shit on the floor when you out on the ground outside in the trash can right in front of you.
Do the wrong thing. Have you ever got cereal from one aisle and looked at it and you ain't like it?
Yeah, I just did that today.
You walk around
not
with
cereal.
Put it in the chips aisle. So now the person that worked there gotta put it back where you got it from, and they gotta look at the code to make sure it's the right.
Yeah, I did that today, and I'm usually that person because when I was younger, I worked in. No, but I always would say stuff to people. I would put stuff back because I worked in Walmart before I worked in Target, and we gotta put that stuff back. It'd be carts full of stuff. Excuse me. It'd be carts full of stuff that we gotta put back in the aisle because because of that, when I go to the store, I try not to do that, and I will always tell people like if they do, I'm like, don't leave that there. I'll go put it back or whatever because I know like you sit there for an hour walking around trying to put all that stuff back or whatever, and is you making more work for the people. Right. Like that's not
Nobody thinks about the convenience of the workers. No one considers no one considers the workers. No one thinks about how inconvenient it is when you do certain things like that. Because like I said, it's so easy to do the wrong thing. Now, I'm using minor things because I know the bigger fish is in relationships. When somebody is, they step out or whatever, but that's what I'm saying. It's so easy to do the wrong thing because think about it, you never get the opportunity to meet shorty or get to hang out with a new dog. You finally get the opportunity to do it, you know what I mean? And you outside, it's like so easy for you to be like, let me just try it, you know what I mean? But you should walk away. You should go home. Go home, bro. You know what I mean? If you got something good at home, you should go home. Like for real. I'm not advocating to do the wrong thing. Because I'm advocating for fathers. We did a separation in service today too. In service, Unc was like, anybody could be a father, but it takes a great man, a great person to be a dad, right? So he's like, a dad is good to acknowledge that you're there, you're present. A dad is present. A father gave life, but a dad is there. A dad is somebody that's around. When he's your stepfather, that's because he married your mom. But your father just gave you life. You feel me? But your stepfather could be your dad because he could be around. He could be doing what he's supposed to do. He's there. He's playing catch with you. He's going to your football games. He's playing, you know what I mean? He's around. But your dad is the dude that's doing what he's supposed to do and teaching you what you need to know for life, teaching you how you gotta move. Dad is that dude that you playing chess with in the place because he he can't be around his kids right now, but you know where he at. But that's your dad. Because every time you play chess with him, he give you a gem. He tell you something. He teach you something. He teach you how a man should be. But he's not showing you that. So he's not a father figure. Father figure is around. Father figure is there. Father figure is a dad. You know what I mean? Because he's not actually your father. He's doing what your father should be doing. Your dad. And being a dad is important. Being a mom is equally as important. But it's just like think about it as a relay race. Mom is gonna get you there about halfway. And dad's gonna bring you to the finish line. So it's like your mother, she gotta pass the baton to Pops. So he can teach you how to be a responsible adult. And if you're a boy, he can teach you how to be a man. Mom can teach you how to be a woman. Dad can teach you how to be a wife, probably. He can tell you some things of what a wife should be like by showing examples of how your mom probably treats him and why you married her. This is why I married your mom, whatever. And she might want to be more like mom to be wife material. If mom is respectable and mom is a wife, she's what a wife should be. Stepmom might not necessarily be, stepmom might be 25 or something. You know what I mean? You might be like, she old enough to be your sister or something, you know what I mean? Whatever. But in any case, I would say, dads are important because there was a time historically where moms would be around the child while the child is really young, up until about 5 years old. And then after 5 years old, dad would take the child out to hunt. At 5 years old. Oh my God, that's crazy. These kids was built different. These little kids was built different. There wasn't no Google Gaga and all that. Mom would do that, dad would come in the house, and the kid knew what was what. Make that baby stop crying. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way it was. Like it's crazy. Like you might not agree with that, but look at they made some of the greatest inventors in society. They made some of the greatest builders in society prior to the electronic age, industrial age was booming because of these great inventors that was cultivated through the hardships of time. But then we got people that became smarter and was like, yo, we gotta figure out a way to do this without using all this manual labor, man. We gotta figure so computers and electronics was created. You know what I mean? And then the electronic or the tech age then existed. You know what I mean? But there were women doing this. I'm not gonna hold you. There was a few women that was doing this, some brilliant women. But the majority of this was men that just had to do it. They had to figure out a way to do this, scientists, you know what I mean? And the greatest minds in society, they had to be leaders. So that father is teaching you how to lead, things that you have to do without being told to do it. You know that this has to be done, so you just got to do it. This is your responsibility. When they're giving you allowance, they're giving you an allowance under these conditions that you're doing everything that you're supposed to do. So you should be rewarded because you're learning. You're becoming a better person, and I'm seeing it right before my eyes. So I want to reward you with something. Here, go get yourself something nice. Go take your girlfriend out somewhere. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, you want to take the car? You know what I mean? Like I would be on that type of time, but I have to be confident in my teachings as a parent that he's not going to go out there and get wasted behind the wheel and they get wrapped around a pole. You know, I'm not going to be thinking that my child is going to go outside and he's going to uh, physically attack somebody just because they said they didn't like his shoes, or they said his mom was a beaver, or his mom was a 304. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong for telling my child to only be violent when violence attracts itself to you?
What do you think the biggest cause of violent crime is today?
I would say lack of compassion, understanding, consideration, and respect. I would say that now we're so openly disrespectful now that it's supposed, because we have freedom of speech, so we argue that. But then there's also the level of insult that we reach now, right? Where it's tolerated, and when things happen to a certain degree, we don't acknowledge it. Certain things are just, I don't think it's right that somebody can come up to you and just say anything they want to you, and then you can't do anything because they invaded your personal space. There was a threshold of something, like you touch somebody, you put your hand on their shoulder, all right, now that's a threat. Don't touch me. But don't even get close. Stay where you at. Why you coming over here? Now you approaching. So once you approach me, it's on and pop. You don't gotta touch me now. You too close. Because then it was like, all right, you too close. Get off me, like get away from me, like you know what I mean. And then when they come back, like what? Like okay, now you started. But if you can't even let people get close to you, when you tell them you're chill, like I'm good, like don't come over here, please don't come over here. When they come over here and they get close enough for your right or your left, or the front kick that we was talking about earlier, they give them one of those uh, Charlie Murphys right in the chest. You know what I mean? Listen, foot, but I'm just saying, like, do whatever you got to get too close. I don't disagree with that. But I also think that yeah, you shouldn't be fighting nobody for words or whatever they say. But just stay where you at. You can say whatever you want to say. You go over there. Don't spit on me. That's assault, right? Don't spit on me. Feel me? Don't get too close. That's it. Once you get too close, it's when my hand's like this and you get that close to that hand, now I got you. Now I can do whatever because you get too close. Don't get too close. Keep your distance. We could talk, we could argue, we could fuss, but if you want to fight, that's different. You know what I mean? Like fighting, just say that. Don't play games and don't get me try to provoke me, you know what I mean, with your words. You provoke me with your words from there. Because there's nothing you can say that's really gonna hurt me that much. But when you put your hands on me, I got a problem. I don't like slurs either. I don't like them, but don't get close and do it. Yeah, I see you over there. You know what I mean? Like, all right, don't get up on me with it. Don't do that. What's the name? chud, whatever, the dude don't do that. Yeah, I'll chimp out, but keep yourself over there. Don't get in my face. Because now you invaded my personal space. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's right that people could just do whatever to you and it's okay. I don't think that's right. I'm not advocating for that either. People should be respectful. I respect people. If you respect me, I respect you. I don't care what people say. It don't bother me what you say. When I know the truth about myself, it don't bother me what you say. I don't care. I do not care. But I'm firm in the belief that, respect is earned. You feel me? When we have a conversation, I'm gonna give you the utmost respect, definitely, at all times. I'm always gonna do that. But then when you go down the insult path, then we're gonna be exchanging insults. That's just how it happens. You started, oh, okay, this is how you feel. Because I'm not the type to just restrain myself. I'm not the turn the other cheek. Only in word battles.
Shout out to Marla.
Yeah, I'll give people the benefit of the doubt. Word battle, yes. So we talking. But I want people to attack the argument, not attack the person.
Do you think we spend more time reacting to violence than preventing it?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna say honestly, a lot of people react to violence to instigate it, but I think sometimes people will try to walk away, and the other person is such an extreme aggressor that it still leads up to the initial fight. You can be trying to walk away. So I think with those two situations weighing in, it probably leads more towards we react to it more. But I think most people probably don't want to get hurt. They don't want to get cut. They don't want to bleed. They don't want the pain that comes with the altercation. So it's conditional a lot of times. People pick and choose. A lot of times people will walk away. A lot of times people will ignore you because they're afraid. But a lot of times people will react. So it's one of those scales where there has to be like a social experiment. But if you look on YouTube or World Star, you see it happen often. But you see they got all these different little challenges that people be doing crazy stuff. They go up to people and knock them out and all this other stuff. Like in the hood, people are getting deleted, you know. So you really want to be careful when you react to stuff. But I think in this climate, I think people don't try to resolve it or prevent it necessarily. I think some people just walk away because they're afraid, but I think more people react to it. I think
What do you think we can do to stop that as a people?
I think it comes with just teaching people the golden rule.
Do unto others as you would like others to do unto you.
That's it. Because violence is an interaction between individuals. You know what I mean? It's not something that you do yourself. I mean, you can delete yourself, or you can do whatever, self-mutilating things of that nature, or whatever. But I mean, we could consider that to be violence in nature to oneself. But when we're talking about preventing it overall from any type of violence with other people, that would come from the environment that they're raised in. You know what I mean? I heard a really clever line in a battle rap recently. The dude said, "I'm a product from my environment, like a spirit bomb." I was like, "Oh, that was kind of deep. That was dope." I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. Product from my environment, like a spirit bomb. Product from the environment, you getting all the energy from your environment, and you make this big, all like you're that bomb of spirit, from his city. Like he was going on a scheme about his city. Like it was but I think it comes from the people that teach you how you're raised and things like that. Those people that raise you, they're responsible for that. So I think this is a message to the adults, really. The only way for us to do this is just do different. Just turn it around. Just try to talk about things before you react. There's a that a lot of people thought of. So before you respond to something, breathe in, take one breath, and breathe out after they've said what they said, and then respond. That's something that lawyers do, right? And that's so that they eliminate certain words they don't want to say, things like that. So in the beginning, they're thinking about how they're going to respond before they respond, so that breath is giving you a little bit of time to absorb what you just heard, and then after you absorb what you just heard, then you're able to give a better response, right? So first do that, and then respond, and then proceed from there. You don't want to just react, as soon as something happens, because that's impulsive. You know what I mean? And it could lead to other problems. A lot of times, sometimes it just takes understanding of the situation. Sometimes things are accidents. Like you come to a situation, like say you come to your home and you have your kid was being babysitted, right? Oh, happened at Halloween. I'll use that as an example. But I'll use this as an example first. So it's a little bit less, and I'll give you an extreme. So you come home, your kid is being babysitted by the babysitter that you pay him to watch your kid, right? And your kid is missing a tooth. You know what I mean?
When you come home, your kid is missing a tooth.
You come home, your kid's missing a tooth. This is the less extreme. Because I was going to do something a little bit simpler than that, but I changed it to that. So now we go to that. Your kid's missing a tooth. The first thing a parent, any parent probably, your kid's missing a tooth, you're going to freak out. Where's your tooth? Like, whatever, right? So you're going to be mad. You're going to have to take a second to understand the situation. If the person that your kid was with and your kid is missing a tooth is still in your house, they didn't leave, right? So just understand that. They didn't leave before you freak out. For all the parents, for the dads, moms, before you freak out, understand the person that was watching your kids did not leave from the premises. They're still there, right? So your kid's missing a tooth. The next thing is like, instead of you just think, because everybody's online probably, on Facebook with a question like that, it's probably responding and saying, oh, somebody's gonna get pew. You know what I mean? Like that's what everybody. But listen, try to understand. Your kid is missing a tooth. I didn't give you an age, I didn't give you any context, but just try to understand. You got somebody watching your kid's missing a tooth. You come into the house, you're upset because your kid's missing a tooth. But you don't know why. I think the first thing you need to do is ask the question. I want to know why my kid is missing a tooth first, before I go crazy. Because I need to understand.
They might have just jumped off the bed.
Right. And my kid is wild, right? So where were you? I want to know the whole situation. I want to hear everything. I'm going to give you a chance to explain, because you didn't run out the house. You know what I mean? You didn't call 911.
They not scared.
What? What is going on? Like, why is my kid still here? Why didn't we get a call? Why not come to the house to see this? Did it just happen?
Did it just happen right before I walked?
Right. I need to know everything in full detail how this happened, because if not, somebody go get me. But I'm trying to tell people to think before they react. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't go crazy.
If you're thinking about it and you still do it, then what's the point of thinking? You might as well.
No, because you gotta you still Papa Bear, Mama Bear, you still the lioness, you still the king of the jungle. You gotta make sure
the purpose of thinking is to make a better decision. Not to still do some crazy.
Is thinking about what I'm gonna do to this person after I see this crazy thing, because that's my kid. I'm overwhelmed now, right now at this point. So then I have to find out what happened, because if not,
breathe, stretch, shake,
something's gonna happen, right? So for me, I'm saying I understand parents being, oh, something gonna happen, right? Nobody's saying that you don't have the right to feel that way. Am I wrong? Am I lying? Like,
no, you can be upset, right. But you said think about it. So normally,
what's wrong with thinking about it?
No, you should think about it. But I'm saying after you thought about it, and then you still go do some breath. Breathe, stretch,
because you already thought about it when you saw your kid missing a tooth. So before you just hauled up and hit this kid, you need to.
So now you're gonna attack someone else.
No. What happened? Why is my kid missing a tooth? And then go through it, because that's the first thing you saw. I'm not even gonna ask how was he. You know what I mean? I want to know now. I want to know why he's missing a tooth. But I'm not gonna go crazy. But I know why are you like, what's up, hun, relax, chill. Why is our kid missing a tooth? What happened? What happened, Bobby? His name is Bobby. He fell off the bed. I went to get his stuff ready for a bath and everything, and as soon as I came here, he jumped in the bed. Listen. Let me ask him. Is that what happened? I'm sorry. I told him I'm sorry. Why are you telling me you're sorry? Because I shouldn't have been jumping on the bed. Oh.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
You know, that's racist. I told you don't do that, and you did it, and look what happened. That tooth was broken. I want to really hear how the kid responds. I'll probably already know. I'm not going to freak out too much. But if there's blood everywhere and stuff like that, you don't freak out. Now let's do the other situation. I was going to have another example. You come home, your kid is deleted. And the kid that's watching your kid is still there.
Then they got blood all over.
This happened in Halloween, the new Halloween movie. Kid was babysitting. This motherfucker became Michael Myers. He ain't even mean for the kid to fall. The kid just was bad as hell. The kid was bad as hell. Okay? If you saw the movie. The kid was bad. And the kid fell to their demise. Parents come home. The kid didn't get any time or whatever because it wasn't negligence or anything like that. The kid was just bad as hell. And the kid fell off the thing. The parents never forgave the kid. The whole town never forgave the kid. They shunned the kid. The kid got treated poorly. Only one girl wanted to still deal with him. Michael Myers' niece.
And how did that turn out for her?
Right. Because he became Michael Myers. It was really good. I should check it out. But yeah, like that one part with that kid changed that kid's life forever, man. Made Michael Myers. You know what I mean? Like it was terrible. But just imagine the parents, how bad they made this kid feel in that situation. And it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. You see how it played out. It's like, man, look at how he got to live his life now. You know what I mean? After this situation.
Yeah, it's a shame. Please fight the power, stop the violence. We need to stick together.
I said no violence.
Yeah. Violence begets violence. But again, prayers go out to the families that lost people in that unaliving in West Haven. and I hope whoever did it was arrested, or gets arrested for that.
That's
Um, so I have a clip that I want to play.
Federal government moved to block nation's first reparation programs for Black residents in Illinois. What did I say in my last video when I addressed this? I'm actually play the video so I can show y'all that I know what I'm talking about. But here's the truth about reparations. As long as our identity is classified as a racial category and not a sovereign people, there's no legal framework to receive it. The government can't do a nation-to-nation transaction with people who aren't recognized as a nation. Meaning if they pass reparations today, they will use the 14th Amendment Equal Protection Clause to say it's discrimination, like they are literally doing to the Black people getting reparations in Evanston, Illinois right now. Here's the reason why Blacks are not getting reparations. And here's how to change it. All the people named got reparations because their identity is tied to a nation. Native Americans are tied to indigenous nations. Black is not tied to a nation. It's a racial classification, and according to the 14th Amendment, it will be discrimination to give a person reparations based on race. But it's not discrimination to give people reparations based on nationality. I told you that they was going to use the 14th Amendment to block reparation based on race. And what does it say right here? The Justice Department argues the program is unconstitutional, claiming it violates the Equal Protection Clause by providing benefits based on race. Black Americans could receive reparations, but y'all have to understand the games that these people are playing. This is why our identity, what we call ourselves, and not identifying as a racial category is very important in our pursuit to autonomy, self-government, and sovereignty. This is
all right. So do you guys understand what that means?
Yeah, we don't. Black is a social construct. It's a color. We're not tied to. So it's basically saying that's discriminatory for them. And I looked it up. I fact checked it. He is correct. They really did block it. This is in Evanston, Illinois. They were trying to give it to them, but it got blocked by the government. And
well, here's the other thing. If you can prove, and this is the problem, when you were a slave, your nationality was stripped from you, right? Because you now identify under the leadership of the person that was your owner at the time. So you have to be direct lineage to that person anyway. And then they throw this in there and saying, okay, even if you find out who your slave owner was, you still have to find out what tribe you were from and all of this, and say that you were discriminated against because of this. So you have to have two things to get a reparation. You'll have to also know if you're an indigenous group or you're an African group or you're something of that sort. You'll have to prove what tribe or what nationality you are outside of that, because you can't just say I was this color and I was a slave. You'll have to say I was in. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Because I gotta do grammar TV. I don't know.
Correct me if I'm wrong. For my African people, but Ubu tribe or what have you. If you're one of those different tribes, then you'll have to identify that that's what tribe you are. So this, I mean,
what form of reparation do you think we should receive? Like, do you think it should be housing, financial, education, or
oh, thank you. All right. Form of reparations, I would say the form of reparations that we should receive should be 40 acres and a mule. That's what I wanted to say. I was trying to think. We should receive 40 acres and a mule. 40 acres and a mule means we get the land and we get money, some compensation. That's what we want. We want something that can business cultivate some type of asset outside of the land, and we want the land. Definitely. I don't see it any other way. I mean, I don't see them giving us reparations because they don't want us to be equal. You know, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry I gotta say it that way. I gotta frame it that way. I'm not being racial or anything like that. I have YT friends. Just like they always try to say, oh, I have a black friend. You know, like it's a badge of honor. But what I understand with having my YT friends is their badge of honor is understanding that, oh, I have a black friend. You understand what I'm saying? I'm their token, they're not mine. I don't think of it like that. But I understand that we have distinct cultural differences, but we connect on some level. They don't invite me to their family gatherings. And, you know, some of them did. The ones that did, I knew they were real, but the ones that didn't, I knew it was just business nonetheless. The friendship part comes with, you know, the repeated interactions with individuals, and it's always on good terms because they don't, unlike people from my culture, they're reluctant to overstep certain things. They're not going to be disrespectful to me or something like that. Like they will stop themselves. Whereas your black friends will be like, well, I gotta tell you how you is because I care about you. I'm gonna tell you the truth and nobody else will. You know, sometimes they behind your back. Sometimes they not. Sometimes they cool. You know what I mean? But you also gotta understand how, again, we're product of our environment, right? We see this from our loved ones when they avoid picking up calls from certain family members and stuff like that, and they tell you better not say nothing on TV online. You feel me? By omission, if not by telling them, "Oh, no, I didn't see your call come in." You know what I mean? But the beautiful thing about it is that we don't learn, we don't teach. Well, at least I haven't. We haven't taught our race of people to not like a race of people. We've only taught our race of people to acknowledge abuse we dealt with from groups of people, right? And every single country has had some form of slavery to some capacity. Every single country. We know about this historically. We know this was just something that happened. You know what I mean? And sometimes it wasn't used as something bad. They were compensated. You know what I mean, for their services. You know, it would pay off debts. You know, and then they go back to their normal life, like going to prison. I guess you owe somebody something, and it's like you pay it back without having to go to another means of society because this is how they move. I wouldn't say it made it right, but if you're okay with doing labor for somebody for a little bit of compensation or to pay off a debt, then that's, you know, whatever. But the word slave is just a little bit different to me. It just means like you just really don't like that person. You want to whip them. You want to, you want them to feel like they're less than. You know what I mean? But if somebody's just doing a favor for you, I don't call that a slave. I call them a laborer. But labor, with the whole hatred aspect of it, really made it worse because they didn't like these people that were serving. They looked at them as less than. Like they would argue, okay, Abraham Lincoln was a slave owner, so they would argue he was nice to his slaves. He was a good master. Like, how could you be a good master? You know what I mean? Like I still feel like, okay, you're somebody's master. You're still, it's still bad. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, but understanding the terminology of the word and the root of it, it was never associated with something pleasant. Nobody wanted to be like that. The servant would be something that would happen, and servants would be treated rather fairly. But it's still to an extent slavery. But then when you're an actual slave, the term slave is like a negative connotation of the term of servitude. It's not necessarily good. It's like, yeah, a woman could be a good woman and you still associate her with a female, but then the negative connotation with that would be the C word or the B word, right? They could make it a term of endearment, but it's still what it says. If I'm saying that, oh, she's my slave for life, that's not a nice thing to say about your woman or whoever, you know what I mean? You don't want to be a slave, but some of them like it. Some of them, they was masochistic or whatever, so they like the pain. But I don't think you want to be that. You don't want to be a slave. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's disingenuous to take that away because the whole purpose that we got that amendment was to do that. But then again, there was a clause. And what have we always been saying? He didn't do this for the slave, he did it for the state of the union. It says it. It says it right out there. I'm not doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for the state of the union. Whether it affects y'all or not, this is what we're doing it for, because this makes more sense, because we got some African Americans that can help in certain areas of the government or something like that. That probably was how he was looking at it, because he thought they could be on equal footing to some degree. They're men just like him. He doesn't see anything different other than the color of their skin. But he still has slaves, but he needed them to do work. He just, hey, I need somebody, I need cheap labor, so I'm going, and I'm not trying to make it right, but look, that's like if Obama gave us reparations. It's like saying, like, yo, you became a president and you actually did something that helped Black people. Whether we could say he didn't do it for us or not, he actually did something that helped Black people, right or wrong. Right or wrong? You agree with that or not?
Who did something?
Abraham Lincoln. You agree with that or not?
When he freed the slaves?
Abolished slavery. You agree with that or not?
Did he really, or did they?
That's what the 14th Amendment was. Do you agree with that or not?
Is he responsible for it, really?
Yes, he the guy that proclaimed it. No? You don't agree with it?
I didn't say that.
But I'm asking.
Did
he
yes
really
do it?
Huh?
Because they tell us a lot of things.
All right. So he was a president at the time. At that, I think he was the 14th. No, I don't know what president he was. Was he the 14th? Well, somebody write in the chat what, or you can look on ChatGPT. What president was he? And then ask that too. But I'm saying, like, okay, if we determine that he did it, okay, fine. But if he did do that, do you accept that? Like, as a slave owner, do you think that we could still say that, all right, well, he did something for us, even though he still was a slave owner, even though he didn't do it for the slaves, he did it for the state of the union? Would you still acknowledge that he did something for us? Did he do something that helped us? Yes. Because I would say yes, but it forced them to try to do other things because we're not going to have slavery. All right, well, we're going to separate water fountains. We're going to separate education. We're going to separate everything. And then we had to have another person come around and try to switch something else up. You feel me? And then JFK did what he did. But I'm only saying this to say both can be right. We could say that anybody that owns a slave is a terrible person. We could say that. But we could also say that you don't. You shouldn't.
The 16th president.
The 16th. Okay, I was wrong. You could do anything. Let me roll this back. If you do something for the greater good, it doesn't matter why you did it because it helped society. That's the only point. But what I'm saying is, could we still acknowledge that he deserves to be underpaid? Like he decided to abolish slavery. Him deciding to abolish slavery, was that something good that he did for Black people? Even if it wasn't for Black people, was it something that he did good for Black people? It specifically is abolishment of slavery. Do you agree that he did something good for Black people? Yes or no?
The Emancipation Proclamation of 1863, issued by Lincoln as a military measure, this decree declared free all enslaved people living in states or regions actively rebelling against the Union. Because it would only apply to Confederate-controlled territories and not free slaves in the Union, loyal border states, or in southern areas already occupied by the U.S. military. The 13th Amendment in 1865 was because the proclamation was a temporary wartime policy, couldn't permanently abolish the institution nationwide. That the 13th Amendment was enacted shortly after Lincoln's death, that permanently outlawed slavery and involuntary servitude across the entire United States.
Right.
So we were freed, but the intent behind it was only for self-service. So I think that it affected us, or some people got free, but everybody didn't even get free right away because
they didn't get free until the 13th Amendment. But the
intent behind it, I don't like that because it's like it wasn't.
It was self-serving.
Yeah.
But I also feel like we don't really talk about it, but he knew he had to say what he had to say, right? He had to say what he had to say because of the climate of the individuals that were in that area, or the climate of the individuals, period. White people controlled everything. So he had to say it a certain way to appeal to them because he's like, he's not doing this for this. This is for the state of the union. And have them understand that we need them for this. So that's why we're doing it. And then the 13th comes after they won the war. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it was, he created that. So I would say, yes. Yes, absolutely. Because it's important to understand that what he did helped us, whether we like him or not. So that's just like a parent. A parent might give you a beating.
It's not
that beating might save you from getting arrested years later in life. I'm not saying that it's right to do it, but I'm saying you could look at it that way. And yeah, he stopped whatever was going on, but we don't want to get, I'm not gonna give him flowers and whatever because it wasn't right to begin with. But we were brought over here against our will. Now all these years working and all this other stuff. We want to get paid what we deserve. We never gonna get an opportunity to do it because there's nobody in the government that's gonna speak for us to give us that. That's what you gotta understand. You have to build your own stuff in order to do stuff. Reparations, I would love for us to get reparations. There's black people that don't even want us to get reparations.
Can America move forward without addressing historical injustices?
It's hard because it feels like everybody gets an opportunity except us. I don't think it's fair. I feel like okay, in some cases you could look at it and say, yeah, we are able to do everything because we got the internet, we got this, there's no excuse. You could get a job, you could learn STEM, you know what I mean? Yes, I get all that. That's true. That much is true. But the time that it takes, while we not eating, we trying to get that. We going broke trying to achieve what you consider to be the American dream, and it's very selective. And that was the purpose of the DEI or whatever, but it still cuts us out. It feels like literally they're not going, is everything is gate kept, they're not going to allow you to achieve a certain level because it's gate kept. Systematically, we're hit. And I don't think people really acknowledge that. A lot of people overlook it because they want to get rich overnight. And it just don't be happening unless you become a Kai Cenat, gotta be an influencer, a great athlete out here. You know what I mean? People gotta just like you. People gotta just like you, and they gotta love you enough to give you bread. Because if not, the government not just gonna help you be on the level that they at. And if you do get to the level that they at, oh, they gonna set up barriers for you, Jay-Z.
Speaking of Jay-Z, so Dame Dash and Jay-Z got some type of beef going on. Dame Dash made a rap. I guess when Jay-Z did that freestyle or performance or whatever, he was dissing a few people in that or whatever. So Dame Dash made a rap, like he was rapping, or if you want to call it that, I don't know. It's embarrassing. It's terrible. Um, and he had that girl in the video that he had do a diss about Cameron. She was well. It's not a music video. They're like it's Instagram, but and I don't want to play too much because I don't want to get. But it's just go to Dame Dash. Well, we'll link the video down below in the comment section. But yeah.
I mean, Dame Dash. Let me just say this, because I don't got no beef with nobody. Dame Dash is respectfully, because I'm about to say some good stuff and I'm about to say some bad stuff. Dame Dash is a business genius. They came up with Rockefeller. I love that era of music for us. I loved it. They made some great music. They had great artists. They had great tracks that are timeless classics. We play them till this day. Every single track that you guys created in that era, we play this till this day. You see what I'm saying? They still get played, and the DJ still put them in the still put them out there. These tracks is out there, but Dame did not handle himself like a businessman throughout this endeavor. Cam stepped his game up big time. Dame potentially fell off. He was just, I don't know what happened, but he didn't handle himself good. And then when everybody else around him started doing good, instead of, all right, bro, those who can't do teach, I'm gonna rock with you, help you with your joint, whatever. You know what I mean? Because for some reason it's not working. I had the talent. I was a good, what would you call him? I would say he was a good team captain or team manager, right? And he just wasn't the best coach. Like he was Mark Cuban. He got the Mavericks. He got all the money. But he had to get the right pieces in play to make shit pop or whatever. And then after that, they went their separate ways or whatever. But I have to say, he couldn't hold on to it. His players got to go elsewhere. He had to be replaced because he could have kept, you know what I mean? Why are you spamming it?
Those are the links.
All those different links?
Yeah, all the stuff.
Oh, I thought that was the same joint. I'm like, yo, you put that up there pass on. But now I see the letters a little bit. But yeah, like, I feel like I don't know, Dame is a little bit immature at his age, calling other people immature. When he speaks on certain things, he speaks from a standpoint of immaturity, like, to a degree. And I say that with the utmost respect. I really do. I'm just on the outside looking in, and I'm like, yo, you're not taking this well. You arguing with this track, you online, or you know what I mean, and you talking about other people doing childish stuff, but you doing the same thing. You can't speak on it and you doing it. Feel me? I'm a young man. I'm younger than you. I'm not like that old, but I understand. Like, I'm not. I'm not gonna be online. I'm not gonna be online with my beat. You know what I mean? I can't. I can't honestly say I respect that. You too old for this. I gotta put that out. You too old for this. And Jay said subliminals, bro. You spoke on it because you wanted.
He dissed multiple people. That's what.
Yeah, but he did it subliminally, like, like, let it ride out or make a diss track. He made a diss track.
He ain't even no rapper though. I don't know why he's rapping.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
that junk is trash. Then you got that no talent girl rapping with you. Like, I want to call it rap.
What he got to do is just build another music mogul team. Do that again.
We had Jay before.
I think people would mess with him if he do a label again.
But who he gonna partner with?
Arson.
Not after we were just talking shit. He gonna cut it, especially the way that he acts. He ain't gonna appreciate that.
He ain't gonna know. He ain't gonna know I said this.
Well, we are live.
We are, but unless.
But he don't know.
Right. If he comment and it's like he the ultimate petty, I'm a feed over. I'm gonna love it. But I don't think he's gonna see it. But I'm extending him an invitation. Partner with up and coming. Feel me? And see what comes out of it. You know what I mean? Merchandise, all that.
Loyalty versus ownership. What matters more? And
what do you mean? Ownership.
Should business partners always have written agreements?
You talking about business.
Have you heard of the bricks and minifig scandal? Bricks add minifig scandal? No, I'm not familiar. Enlighten me, Rose.
No, what's that about?
Thank you for watching, by the way. Hit the like button if you did.
No, while she explains what that is, go back to what you were saying. What was your question? Loyalty. What do you mean?
Loyalty versus ownership. Business? What matters more? Yeah, because they were business partners.
As a business partner,
Yeah, loyalty, because business in person, like we're friends, but we're also business partners. Loyalty versus ownership, what matters more?
okay. Oh, that's a good one. I want to say both because you're gonna have to understand because the loyalty comes with understanding who owns the company, whether it's a partnership or not. If you're partners, and we're gonna address what Rose said. If you're partners, you want to have loyalty to the company. I want to I want to trust the person that I'm going in with business in that they're going to make the best decisions on my behalf and I'm going to make the best decisions on their behalf, or at least they're going to always talk to me before they make a decision so that I can be in agreement with whatever decision they make. When they trust you, they just okay with whatever decision you make because your decision is going to benefit them. But if they don't trust you, then they want you to, okay, before you make that decision, consult with me. You know what I mean? But then you have to have an understanding of who is the owner of the business because that's the person that makes these decisions. I don't have to answer anybody if I'm the owner of the company. But if it's a partnership, then I owe them the responsibility of explaining what move I'm making business wise. Like if I'm gonna take on a deal, they need to know that I'm taking on this deal because they want to know how much they're gonna be compensated and things of that nature. But what I'm saying is that if you're the owner of the company, the person that works at the company, whether they're friends or an associate, they have to have loyalty to you anyway because you're the owner of the company. I have to have loyalty to my company, not necessarily to that person that is in the company. So if they're my friend, they understand that they could get fired. So it's a fine line. So I would say both, but it depends on understanding the distinction of who the owner of that company is.
Business is business, pleasure is pleasure, and I don't mix it ever, ever. Um, so yeah, I think if you have a standard that you have to go by, like business and personal should be kept separate. If you can't take your personal feelings out of it and just go by what you agreed upon, what's the business deal that you came up with,
Yeah.
then you shouldn't be into business.
Don't do it. Yeah. Don't do it.
Emotions should not be involved when it comes to business.
So that's why it's difficult to do business with family. You want to do business with family, but it's difficult to do business with family if there's not a clear understanding of how this is gonna go. Like, okay, I'm gonna let them know from the jump. Hey, you want to make a couple dollars? I need you to do. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna tell them what the couple of dollars is before they agree to do it. If they agree to do it, there's nothing else that needs to be discussed. This is what you need to do, and it needs to be to my liking. Well, you ain't paying me for this. I said I was going to give you this to do this. I'm not going to pay you until you do this. Exactly the way I'm telling you to do it. Now, if you're a smartass and you say to me, I want it in writing, you want a contract, you want an invoice, it's my pleasure. I paid for it, right? So I'll give you an invoice and I'm gonna write out specifically what your tasks are, right? I'm gonna send that to you, and then you agree to that, and I'm going to pay you once you complete said task. If you don't complete said task, and I'm gonna be very meticulous with it, then you don't get paid. Simple. And I get somebody else to do it. And whatever you completed, you can be a dick and pour it all out or whatever the fuck it is, whatever, because you know whatever, because I'm not gonna pay you. Fine. Then there's another solution with that, but that don't got to be talked about in this form. But the other thing is, that's fine, perfectly fine. You didn't agree to that contract. But if it's a contract, I'm gonna take your stupid ass to court. And that doesn't involve police. That's just the justice system, and we all use it to our advantage at times. So I will get the justice system involved and get some bread. However, I'm gonna get it legally.
So Rose asked, "Do we know about the bricks and minifig scandal?" So I looked it up. It said Brian Mansell co-signed his elderly father massive Lego collection of Kaiser Oregon bricks and minifig store. In 2024, the franchise locations changed hands to new owners Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best. The original co-signer alleged that the new management took control of the store's inventory and refused to honor his co-signing deal or compensate him for the high ticket sales. And a YouTuber tried to get it back, and they got arrested. That's what Rose is saying in the Reckless Ben.
I'm not familiar with that name, but
Yeah, Bricks and Minifig initiated a lawsuit against content creator Reckless Ben. So basically, they sold it to someone else, and they didn't honor the agreement
Lego
that the
stuff?
previous
Lego blocks.
to the Kaiser Oregon Bricks and Minifig store. It's a company that
So
I
they
guess
like make Legos or something.
I guess what they tell them.
Oh,
A $200,000 vintage Star Wars Lego collection that was co-signed to a franchise store. So the store is a franchise store. It's in Kaiser, Oregon.
As soon as you said 200,000, everything else
by a man named Brian Mansell.
kind of blurred out, but then you said Star Wars, and I was like, oh, okay. All right, so a commemorative edition type of shit.
Yeah. And when the franchise changed ownership in 2024, the new owners allegedly seized the remaining co-signed sets and refused to return them or pay out the profit. So whatever agreement that was they had previously, they didn't care about that. They just disregarded it. And
that's crazy. They don't be wanting to give people their money.
And now Bricks and Minifig is Reckless Ben trying to get it back. So I guess they're suing him. Reckless Ben is a content creator. I'm not familiar with them.
So is he just like it's like in the box? He just
Yeah,
like steal the box. Like I'm trying to figure out like how did this happen?
The people bought the store.
Or did he actually get a tangible commemorative edition set of Star Wars Lego pieces in a box that's still wrapped up, and he stole it from them and then got arrested like in a tackling fashion?
He said he stole footage from a KB Manor. That's that guy that was doing the horror thing, but he was really giving people PTSD because it was like almost real, except they.
Is that guy?
No, he had another scandal. This Reckless Ben person, where he said he stole some footage from
that guy.
Yeah, so he's a content creator.
Oh, okay.
His crusade to recover the sets for an elderly man and his son led to legal battles, massive internet drama, and his own arrest. So, Reckless then got involved to help the Mansell, creating a series of viral videos where he investigated the situation. His tactics included, this is he really was going hard for these people. Do you know these people, or you just being?
That's like they all these influencers. They all do the same thing. Like you got Trap Lord Ross, DJ Academics, Lad, Adam 21. You know what I mean? You got all these dudes that kind of they put all these videos out there to like suck up all this crazy content. White underbelly, whatever, right? Them. You know what I mean? They got these crazy videos where they like exploiting.
Reckless Ben has gotten himself in trouble with the law because he was getting involved in the bricks and minifigs Lego case that everyone is interested in right now on the internet. We've heard the story, we know the details, but today I want to break down the legalities of what's actually going on and dive deeper into what Ben is actually up against. Is he going to be able to get this case overturned? We have ourselves a nice coffee from the local bagel shop this morning. Let me know what you guys are drinking. Now, let's dive into this. Big update in the bricks and minifigs case as we have an intervention that may end up blowing this wide open. Of course, it's the legal mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney. And this has been a wild ride in the case of Reckless Ben, bricks and minifigs, which has now become a massive legal battle. Now, I really like videos like this because I am not a lawyer, so I like to be able to tune in and learn about the law from someone that actually has a degree in this and then break it down for you guys in more layman's terms. And one thing that we've got to pay attention is Reckless Ben's RICO case. He has this massive case that he is now facing, and that is coming to a head. Hearings on that coming up imminently, like very soon. Now, what RICO stands for is Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Essentially, to my understanding, this means that you can be silenced if you have a large enough following that can cause problems for the person that you are investigating, bothering. Call it what you will. So in this case, Reckless Ben has a very large following here on YouTube and was causing issues for the case, hence the RICO case. And one big decider here is the law Gorman, which have now filed officially a motion to intervene in this case. Now, we're going to explain all about this, exactly what that means. Let's dive into what Reckless Ben actually did that got him in trouble in the first place and where it leads into as he sits as defendant in court right now. Okay. Now, here's some context for those in the background. Obviously, we got Reckless Ben, his stolen Lego allegations, and all the time in the franchise was owned by Crystal Law and Ben Gorman. That's what we're going to call them, the Law Gormans. Ben confronted several people in Utah, leading to him getting misdemeanor charges. We've also talked about that on my previous videos, charges like stalking, trespass, disorderly conduct. And on May 30th, 2026, BAM, Bricks and Minifigs Corporate, filed a civil RICO case against Ben and themselves and others, alleging coordinated harassment and extortion. Now, that came
extortion. Well, they signed a deal.
So his Legos.
And he came out with a video explaining.
I just throw my Legos.
He signed a deal in front of people who they.
Give me him back.
For content creators, something like this is brutal. Now,
What they did was legal.
Can't do anything. Actually, probably more eyes to the situation itself, which helped his series, his mini-series that he was making on YouTube. And then when this is all done, he'll be able to put everything out, that final video, as long as he wins in court. And literally everyone is going to watch it because it's been so publicized. So I think he's going to end up being okay, but for now, he's been silent. He can't put out content on this. It's very vague in what he can say.
This is going to make him big. I don't even know who Reckless Ben is. Whatever. Right? That's
Reckless Ben.
Oh, my bad.
Wreck-It Ralph is somebody.
Yo. Reckless Ralph. Yo, Reckless Ralph crazy, bro. So yo, I'm gonna check out his channel too. What's his channel? Reckless Ralph. Reckless Ben. My bad, bro. Don't come at me.
So now what they want to do is
I'm a link with him. Reckless Ben.
Now they're not
sound like a wild dude.
But what they're really concerned about is narrowing or dissolving that temporary restraining order
Star
keeping them from speaking. And so what have we got here? Well, the first thing they're not defendants, right? That's key. The other thing is that by having such strong restraining orders to making videos, that chills free speech, right? It doesn't allow people to publish the truth, to get news out there. And that's very important for them, given their separate fight with BAM, Bricks and Minifigs, and that could impair their ability. That could hurt their lawsuit and their discussion of the facts. If they're not able to discuss their case, that's going to hurt their case. So they're asking the judge to narrow or strike the takedown, clarify that the order does not bind the law of Mormons, or just decline to give a preliminary injunction. So say, hey, everybody can speak about things. There's no limits. It's actually crazy that where we live here in the United States, that this could actually happen. That someone that's out there trying to get the news out in this silence, in this way.
Yeah, it's a franchise company for them. So
it's actually happening. Now we can probably believe that Reckless Ben was out there and he was being a nuisance to people. He potentially wasn't doing it in a way that was the most.
Yeah, so they probably sell.
I guess, for lack of a better word. But that still doesn't mean that he should be silent. And let's look at the legal standard here. This is very important. For intervention, there's really two types of intervention. Number one, intervention as a right, and number two, permissive intervention. There's a very strong argument under the rules of procedure, which I had a chance to go look up and discuss with some of my Utah colleagues. There's some strong points for intervention here under the permissive intervention. That is because there's common issues of law and facts, because the scope of the injunction is too broad, it's chilling speech, the First Amendment, that's a problem, and because this is a very key fact, that restraining order mentions specifically Brian and Crystal, so literally name drops them. And because they've got their names in that
I know, but you ain't think I know.
So you might judge it, your wife is what you have. This is a very smart play by the law enforcement to protect their own case while also getting good PR. Everybody is on the side against the AF right now. It seems like they're able to come in and say, hey, we're helping reckless men. We're on the side of good here. We're coming in and doing a positive thing by opening this up, by not, have restricting speech, by allowing speech.
Yeah, the law governments definitely have a good lawyer on their side that's recommending that they get going with reckless men. Think about it. Reckless Ben is the one that's being done wrong right here, in addition to many other people. But reckless Ben is the one that has gotten all the spotlight. He's the famous celebrity of YouTube. So getting on and latching on to his case and taking the stand alongside of him is going to bring more exposure to the Law and Gorman case as well. And in the end, if they all work together, it's probably going to be.
I'll write it in the comments too.
I don't see it.
Did you Google it or did you put it in ChatGPT?
Oh, it's in Google. I don't got no more Chat GPT for the day, you know.
Oh, yeah. Don't be telling people that. Telling people you ain't get the paid version, yo.
I don't care because I'm not about to pay. Whatever, I still use it till to get my free tries.
You need to just go out and just buy the annual version.
I did buy it before, and then I didn't keep it.
I be doing that too. I will buy the spend a little $20 to get that joint for like a month, and then don't do it again. Cancel it. But I know I might need it every day, so I'm just like.
It's Lego.
It's Lego? Alright. LEGO?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Oh no, that's not it. That's for Legato Merger Corp.
Unless that's really what they talking about. People think
it's
Lego.
Kirkby.
Huh?
Kirkby. KIRKBI.
KIRKBI. That's what it is?
Yeah, it's not just for Lego, it's for digital.
But that's what it is?
I'm about to make sure. I just looked it up.
On Google?
Yeah, so okay, but then here's what it says though. Kirkby A/S does not have a publicly traded stock and you cannot buy shares in the company. As a private holding company for the Kirk Christensen family controls approximately 75% of the Lego group, with the remaining 25% held by the Lego Foundation. Because it is a privately held entity, Kirkby does not trade any stock exchange, does not trade on any stock exchange, and does not have an IPO plan.
All right. Shit.
So Kirkby owns an equity stake in Epic Games, which is a private company.
But what about, okay, so they got the majority of it.
And then what was that other one? Sig. They wrote it.
Because Fig trying to get the whole shit, right?
Mini Sig.
Bricks. Now, is this new? Because
you can't. Yeah, this happened in this month.
Okay.
Well, the court and stuff, and they said the guy can't post nothing while it's going on.
This might be a money grab.
You can't invest in the minifig either because they're a part of Lego or they work for them or it's underneath.
So you got it. So all you
and a private people own it.
That 25% probably.
No, you can't
get that.
No, because that's the 75% is owned by people, and then they don't got it.
Smart because they, you know how much money they will be worth. Those little fucking toys, because people they still have it. I don't know where they come from, but kids always have Legos. They always show them. But yo, scratch that. Let me just write in the chat.
You could delete it.
I could.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It's your page. I'll take it
I
off.
wrote that.
I'll take it off.
I did. I retracted it.
Oh. It's your page. But yeah, people give them people back the stuff. That elderly man. That's not right. You guys, I don't know. So the last thing that we got is 4 palm-colored teens charged in the unaliving of a 17-year-old black teen.
I'm not familiar with that, so you have to know.
I believe I have a clip of it.
And they got off. It only see, it's not racial until you hear that
County speaking
got
out,
let
demanding
off.
coverage you can count on begins with a family in Aiken County speaking out, demanding answers and justice after the shooting death of 17-year-old Khalil Simmons. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cavish has more.
He was a great kid. He was helpful. Helped my whole family.
You know, he taught me stuff that I didn't even know at my age right now. And he was way younger than me. You know what I'm saying? Just turned 17.
Khalil Simmons' family says he wanted to be an engineer and was already showing it.
I told him my car was running hot. He checked it out. I said, well, hey, I'm about to thermostat. What we gonna do? He said, I'm gonna put it in. Put it in within an hour.
He was on track to graduate early. Instead, his family says they buried him just days after his birthday.
We was fixing something, and he told me, he said, don't worry about it, Mom. I got it. He turned around, and he was going to take his friend down here. I don't know what else, but that's my last conversation.
Khalil was shot and killed April 13th on Goodman Road in Jackson. He died at the scene.
Why did y'all have to be so hateful and take him away?
And as a parent that lost a son myself, it hurt. It hurt me so deeply to know that another group of parents is going to have to go through the same kind of hurt, the same kind of pain that we're yet still going through now.
A second teen was also injured, but the family says even with multiple arrests, the answers still aren't coming.
I've been calling my investigator for 4 or 5 days. No call back, no information. I didn't even know they had the last guy.
They're raising concerns about evidence and how the case is being handled.
Police showed up at 7. That's what a neighbor told me. And then I've been asking for the the cam, the body cam of the officer, the first responder.
The grief stretches back years. Khalil's uncle, Willie Simmons Jr., was also killed in a 2019 drive-by shooting in Aiken County. His cousin Albert Simmons was killed in 2012. Both cases remain unsolved.
Coverage you can count on begins with a
That's sad, and they probably ain't gonna solve this. Well, they said 4 kids, but it's like, what are they doing? Because how do they know that 4 kids are the ones that's responsible?
Right. Oh, this situation, it bothers me because in the sermon today.
Oh, they were charged. I'm not paying attention. They were charged.
What?
With his death.
What was their charges? Because there was a pastor today, and in her sermon she said when she was a little girl, now she's like probably in her 70s, late 70s. She said when she was a little girl, she was she was afraid to have kids. She had a lot of brothers and sisters. I think she said she had 8 or something. And she was like, yo, she don't want to have no kids. But she had kids, we had grandkids, but she was afraid because the world is such a wicked place. But she was taught that no matter how bad the world is, it's your job to prepare your child for the world and give them responsibilities and have them respect the person that they're in a relationship with. She's like, we need you, man. We need you. And I was like, wow. I told you, it was about Father's Day. And, it was just an acknowledgement of how important fathers are. Like on Mother's Day, everybody goes to church. That's, there's a big dinner. All this, it's the best thing ever because we have a lot of matriarchal families. We got big mama and granddad. You just sit on the couch and keep alive. Well, those are many granddad that's out here that's still out here grinding, working, moving, in the city. Some of us do down south, and some of us have the pleasure of knowing some of them up north. But a lot of us, it's big mamas, grandma, big grandmas. Those are the ones. You know what I mean? But now, as we get older, we have the opportunity because a lot of us are younger, raising young men. Those young men are having kids, and you're pop now. So you have the opportunity to change the narrative and let him see pop get out of your kid. Get that bag, work hard. You're gonna look up to pop. You're gonna be the OG. You're gonna be the original gangster. But we only seen Big Mama. You know what I mean? That's what we need. We need more pops out here, man. We need them out here, not saying we need more grandkids, but we need more pops out here that understand and have that wisdom that the grandfathers would have had they been alive. But they were serving in war, so you didn't have to. Doing whatever, or they just wasn't around. Or raising another family in Kentucky or Arkansas.
So these the suspects charged in the fatal and the unaliving 17-year-old Khalil Simmons on April 13 in Aiken. Jared Grant Marsh II, he was 18, charged with unaliving, attempted unaliving, and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. Tyler Hands Laracy, 17, charged with murder, charged with unaliving and attempted unaliving. 16-year-old juvenile, they're underage, so they can't say their name, charged with unaliving, attempted unaliving, and a possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. Brian Alexander, 40, charged as an accessory after the fact to unaliving. Tara Alexander, 40. Are these the parents of somebody? Charged as charged as an accessory after the fact to unaliving for allegedly disposing of weapons and clothing.
So going to sentencing, did they issue sentencing? So I can say what I think they probably would get as kids. They probably get slapped on the wrist. But they shouldn't.
Well, charges that they got. So if they get convicted,
that helps keep your healthcare facilities ready for patients.
Charges that they already arrested them and they charged for that.
Granger offers everything in one place, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. All with fast delivery that helps ensure you always have what you need. Or maybe they'll find more evidence to charge them with something else that they already got
charges. I'm trying to, it's a news clip, but it won't. I don't know what's wrong.
The mother of a teen killed in Aiken County is now facing gun charges. Deputies say Shaniqua Simmons, the mother of 17-year-old Khalil Simmons, chased and threatened 2 people in April, and one of those victims is related to a murder suspect in Khalil's death. She's now been charged with pointing and presenting a gun and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. An incident report says
but that's somebody else.
Just
that
8
ain't
days after Khalil was shot.
That's the mother of the kid. The other people must be the mother of one of them boys that got arrested.
Because of
the mother and father.
Justice for her kid, but you would make it right.
And it's one of the suspects. So you trying to get.
This week, Augusta Pride is hosting some of its annual events, but there are some changes this year due to construction downtown Augusta. Pride Parade is canceled. Augusta Pride says it will still have its
I don't know what it's talking about, why it's saying that, because I guess that was the end of the other clip. But the report states Simmons threatened the victim with a firearm, and Khalil was unalived on April 13th on the 100 block of Goodman Road in Beach Island. Investigator charged 18-year-old Jared Grant, March the 2nd, 17-year-old Charlie Hams, Literacy, and 16-year-old in the case. And then them 2 40-year-old, Tara Alexander and Brian Alexander. This must be, that's Tara and Brian.
They look like actors.
And them the kids.
They all look like actors.
They didn't show the other one because he's a kid. He's a minor, so they won't say his name either.
It's crazy when you get murked by B-movie actors. Like, you know what I mean? I don't appreciate what's going on here.
Prayers go out to that family.
And mom, relax. Go sit down somewhere. Let the cops. I mean, I know you don't like to hear it, but let justice prevail. Don't get in trouble. Don't jeopardize the case. Let these kids cry. You need a win. I don't want to make it a racial thing, but you wild. You can't be bugging.
And do you have any other kids, Mom?
Yeah,
you gotta be strong for them. I don't know if you do or not, but you still,
because it's crazy for the kids to lose a brother and a sister or whatever when they really, they had a tight bond with them, but the mom's taking care of them. But it'd be worse for them to have to lose their mom. Really. So just keep that in mind. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know it hurts, and I can't imagine going through it. But I know you gotta be strong for the rest of your family and try, until whatever's going on is handled the right way. And if it don't get handled the right way, do what you gotta do. I'm not even gonna say that. But if it ain't handled the right way, whatever. But at least allow that to take its course.
Yeah, let the cops At least they arrested the people. So
Right.
so they're going to trial. You gotta.
And it's crazy because of what's happening with us. Like that other shit, like they think we animals. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has the right to react. Like I was saying, like, you come home, your kid missing a tooth. Like, you got a right to feel like you feel, but I'm just saying, take a breath, take a break, and be like, yo, what is going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Time out.
Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go.
Because you don't want to jeopardize your freedom and then put your other kids in a bad position. And after this happened, you already up. That's why I'm saying for Father's Day, we gotta be there even more for these mothers if you in their life. Like if you go to work and you come home and she cooks for you and she, she lays it down for you and she does all this for you, I think you should try to cook for her sometimes.
I'll cook your dinner too as soon as I get home.
Tell her one day you want to clean up. You know what I mean? If she do it all the time, if she already do it, if she would never even dream of asking you to do it, that's what I would say, right? Because you got to do, you deserve her to do what she's doing, right? But I think also we need to know we need to be there to support them and support our family so that things like this don't happen. I mean, how can this be avoided? I mean, a father being present, we could say anything, but father being present is so important, so valuable in situations like that. So many situations where a son needed their father there and they weren't there, and things like this happen. That could have been avoided. And it's crazy. I just keep thinking about that. Like, yo, like, how do situations like this happen so much other than us saying, yo, it's a racial thing? If you raise a really good kid and you're a really good parent and you live in a really good house and a really good neighborhood, really good country, then why does this keep happening to us? And if you're gonna say it's because us as a collective don't know how to behave ourselves, I would only disagree. But then when I see the parents' behavior, I'd be like, okay, they're about that life. And I'm like really with the loyalty aspect of it where I'll go through the fire with you. But the problem is like sometimes people aren't worth going through the fire for. Like, feel me? Am I wrong about that? I feel like everybody not worth taking that L. Like, like the thing that happened on the boat. Remember that? We never forget that. Celebrating that on Juneteenth weekend. The thing, Alabama.
When it was a brawl.
Water brawl.
Yeah,
wherever it was at, yo, like, where's that?
I don't remember. They was on a cruise. They had just got back from a cruise.
Yeah, and they went crazy over there, yo, throwing chairs and everything, yo. We was holding it down for our people. Like,
somebody swam over the beach.
Right, like, and that's what I'm saying. That's when I be like, all right, it was okay for them to be like, yo, what y'all think y'all doing? Like, oh, that's my fan. Like, nah, you ain't about to do this. And they said what they said, but I understood the assignment. But in situations where we're being non-violent and not doing anything like that, but like situations where we're being non-violent is different. But after we can't prove them by saying we're animals or something like that. Nah, we're not animals, but just don't fuck with us. Like, I don't think there's nothing wrong with nobody want to be fucked with. Y'all don't fuck with the mob, you know what I mean? Like, why you gonna just fuck with us just because? And you gotta really think about like, yo, we just not to be fucked with. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care how tall we are, I don't care what style or discipline or martial arts we know, but just don't fuck with us. Leave me alone. Go on about your business. But if you wanna, whatever, it could be that. But I don't carry the chip on my shoulder like
you
I'm about to, you know what I mean? I'm cool with everybody.
Shady.
I'm cool with everybody.
Cause Shady.
Because respect.
Well,
about respect. You gotta have respect for people. And I always have respect for people. You know what I mean? So yeah, like my heart goes out to that mom, to that family.
I hope that she get out. She got arrested.
I hope everybody gets through this. I hope justice is served on her behalf. I think she deserves a win. For fathers, man, like I'm just saying, we gotta be around. We gotta be present. We gotta have a handle on things. We gotta be better leaders. We gotta take care of our children. We gotta step up. We gotta try to get businesses. You know what I mean? We gotta move better. And I'm not even making this exclusively for black, but the men in general. You know what I mean? We gotta do better. Gotta move better. We have to. But our group, I talk about it specifically because we don't make up that much of the population, and we raising babies that don't got the tools, and there's no excuse. We got tools right now, whatever age you're at today, to use them. The ChatGPT, Grok, fucking Gemini, fucking Claude, fucking whatever fucking application, whatever shit. Y'all got everything at your disposal. Y'all got YouTube, y'all got fucking Google, y'all got everything. And that shit is free. Especially if you got an Android, everything, you can download everything at your own risk. I would say do your research and shit, but you could damn near get everything on your phone for free, bro. And you don't gotta, like, you watch these videos and they tell you, oh yeah, you give me this amount of money, and you don't even gotta do that. You just sit here for a week, go through YouTube, and just watch mad videos pertaining to certain things that you're trying to get into, and it'll give you the map of how to get that bag. You know what I mean? And teach your kids how to do it. Oh, you need to be on this. I told my own girl, I'm like, yo, get y'all to watch YouTube. Don't have her sitting in front of the tablet all day. Have the tablet for maybe a couple hours, and then have her read or have her watch Gracie's Corner on YouTube or some shit on TV or whatever. But don't have her on that tablet all day unless it's something productive. Because they got these shit babysitting.
Right.
Tablets is watching it.
And then that is kids are having a weird reaction when you take them away. They're like, I forgot what it's called. Pod kids or something. No, they just be having like tantrums, like freaking out because it's like they're going through withdrawal because they're so used to stimulation of watching these, it's content all day, and they're too young to really absorb that information properly.
Give them some blocks. Give them some little boy. Give them some little trucks. You know what I mean? Stop giving them these damn tablets.
Take them to the park. Let them run around outside. Yes. Touch some soil. Yes. Get some sunlight.
We need
vitamin D
to be socially active and all this sort of shit. Like I know a kid. I remember seeing who was it? Yeah, it was my little brother.
You said I knew a kid.
I brought him to the park one day, And it was this little kid, he was climbing on shit. It was the same age, he was climbing on fucking bars and jumping off this shit. I'm like, no, you want to get up there? It's too high. Like, I'm gonna catch you. Like, you want to get up there and jump off, but he ain't want to do it. Like, you know, now he's jumping and shit. You know what I mean?
He's grown now.
Right, he's grown now. Like, everybody like, yeah, how old is your brother? Oh my God, that's so cute. This nigga 22. Shit. But I'm saying, like, I'm just saying it to prove a point. Like, you have to spend time with these kids, man. Get them away from the games, the computers, the tablets, a little bit. I think being outside is good for them. Being around other kids is even greater in some cases. You know, for kids that have parents, right?
Well, we all have parents that may not be around for some, but
these motherfuckers don't have parents. These motherfuckers.
They be inmates.
What we call it? What we was talking about? Bioengineered. They was bioengineered.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
They was jumping on the bed.
Mama called the doctor, and the doctor said,
"Sorry, sir, your son is jumping out."
Okay, so yeah, prayers go out to all the people that we've lost this year. I'm just gonna say everybody this year, and other prayers go out to the people that we lost prior to this year. Because it's getting spooky out here. It's been spooky for a while, but it's like when you get older, you begin to notice and realize things that weren't so apparent when you were younger. So it's like, and the more you know, the more it's like I understand now why people be like, well, I had this conversation before, but I understand why people. I knew what it meant. Ignorance is bliss means you don't know, but like so you're happy. But I didn't really get it. But it's like I get it because I feel like I don't know everything, but I feel like I know too much, so I'm super aware of everything. So it's like it makes life kind of like it's like you don't want to do nothing because you know the possible outcomes of everything, or you can't trust people because people.
Let's be fair. We all have like looks on things, but I would say this: you could possibly understand certain things, but that shouldn't stop you from enjoying life. Because
but that's what that
really
means.
Calculative on some Doctor Strange, fucking Mr. Fantastic type of level, then you would understand all the probabilities and you would take more risks. I would argue. So I think it's just the personal fear within yourself and not overcoming that in the simplest form.
Because some stuff, the fear, you know the outcome. Why would you? It's like you overthink anything. No, I'm not. I'm just saying in general, like when you have experiences and you gain knowledge throughout your life, you know that
So you're talking about trauma, or you're talking about actual?
I'm talking about discernment.
Okay.
So you know too much because you're like, I don't want to do these things because this could be. It's a general thing because it could apply to a number of things.
Okay.
But it's like it could be relationship, meeting new friends, romantic relationships. If you drink and drive, you shouldn't do that, but people do it. Having romantic intercourse or whatever, things like that. Like, oh, I know I can get, but I know I can get a no, because you know people be dumb. Like they. Oh my God, just forget it. I get what ignorance is bliss mean now. I mean, I feel that because I wish I didn't know as much as I as I did, because then I wouldn't overthink everything and be
But to
so
what
like.
capacity though? Like you,
I already
like
gave
when
you
you,
examples.
like when you overthink things personally, like when you overthink things, like a lot of times you don't think more of it because you're set on one.
That's what I'm
specific
saying.
thing.
Because of my experience or my life, that's what makes me think that if I was innocent like a child or in green, then I wouldn't have these thoughts. I would just go on and live my life and move. Ignorance is bliss in any capacity, because whether it's relationships, school, education, whatever, different things in life as you're growing up, you have to either be taught certain things or you have to go through them for you to know better. But when you don't know, it's a better experience because you're going into it with rose-colored glass, like you're not aware, so you're just like more carefree. When you know about certain things, and it's like, oh, no, I don't like. There's a lot of things that people know they shouldn't do, but they still do it because it's exciting, it's fun, it makes you. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying because you know that it gives you that thought, like I don't want to do that. Those might be some of the best things sometimes, but it's like you don't want to.
Let me argue at this point. With things that I've experienced that I know could possibly go this way, because Murphy's law is anything that can go wrong possibly will. But with things that I've encountered that have possibly gone wrong, when I go into the situation the second time, if I choose to go into the same situation the second time, I have a better understanding of how I handled the situation the first time. For me, it's more of a challenge for myself. And this could be generally, right? So we can make it general. In a general way, every experience teaches me something. So all the experience that I learned, be it negative or positive, I have an outcome of the beginning of what could be a trend. But if I've had a poor experience with my first experience with something, I challenge that I might not try to do it again, but because of the type of person that I am, I will try it again. I fall off the bike, I get back up. I fall off the bike again, get back up. I fall off the bike one more time, and I get back up, and I'll ride the bike around the block. I think that's another thing, because this is Father's Day, to encourage young men to, even though there's a possibility of an outcome, be meticulous. Think like that Doctor Strange or Mr. Fantastic, if you're familiar with Marvel Comics, and calculate every possible outcome of the situation. Not just the outcome that had a negative experience, but figure out a way to handle that situation differently.
I never said don't do it. I'm saying because of the thoughts, it makes it more challenging because now you're a few. So okay, you said you'll get back up on. You said you would get back on, but some people would be scared to get back on.
No, I was scared, but I want you to speak to that point. I was scared. I was scared to get back on here, but that was the reluctance.
But that's the difference between not knowing. Before you fell, you wasn't scared. You just hopped right on it like it was nothing because you ain't know that.
Because it moved a little bit. Each time it moved a little bit before I fell. So I'm like, I'm getting the hang of it. I'm figuring something out. Even when I started wheeling for the first time, because I started riding, and then, years later, I was wheeling it, walking on one tire and all of that. But when I first started doing it, I was so afraid to do it because I'm like, I'm gonna fall back on my back, and you know what I mean? I don't want to fall. Now I'm doing it with one leg, and now I'm doing it moving or turning around the corner on it and stuff like that. But it took me being more comfortable with failing. And I think that's the thing. The experiences that we have can be traumatic, or they can be an experience that we know, like, I'm reluctant to encounter this again because of how, like a bully. A bully could be the simplest thing. You had a bully, the bully beat you up or whatever. At 3 o'clock, they asked you to come to the park. Back in school at 3 o'clock, and they got a big circle. And then you got to fight the bully. And the bully beats you, So now you got to confront that bully in school, he takes you to lunch and all this. Now you know what? Forget this. I'm gonna fight him in front of everybody in the lunchroom. I'm not gonna wait to go outside. He's gonna get suspended, his father's gonna get him beaten, and I'm gonna get punched in the face and somebody's gonna break it up. That's learning how to handle the situation differently. But outside the school, there's nobody to protect you. You know? So now when you confront this bully again, either his father straightened him up or he's gonna keep on bullying. I want to rematch it. You know, whatever. You know what I mean? Or maybe he wants to be your friend now because you got me in trouble, you got me back. You know, my father, he really beat my ass last time, you know, gave me the black eye, you know, and his father was abusive because that's why he bullied you. You know what I mean? To get that power that he lost from his father. But you didn't understand that. Kids don't understand that. Kids don't know any better, but I'm just saying there's different ways to deal with situations other than just avoiding it altogether. And not saying that you said that that's what you would do, but in situations there's a reluctance, there's a fear to take that risk. Just like the stock market, there's disadvantages and advantages in the stock market. But when you identify the advantage, you learn to mitigate the disadvantages. If that makes sense to people. That's basically low risk, high reward. Something worth losing to get something worth risking something for. You know what I mean? And you will get it. But you gotta be patient. You gotta understand what you're investing in to a degree where you understand the trends of this particular stock. You know, I'm investing in this because it makes money every December, and I could use some money around that time. So I'll do a swing trade, I'll hold it and see if it goes up, and then when it goes up at that time, I'll get rid of it. You know what I mean? You gotta be patient. You gotta wait 9 months. Are you gonna wait 9 months for something to go up? No, I need this because I got bills to pay. I got stuff that's been in my shit since 2019. Never touched it. It moves a little bit. You know what I mean? But some of it is just like 100. It doesn't go faster. But when I got it, it was like at 30. So it's like, I made something. But now I'm just curious. Like, I don't need this, so I'll just leave it there and see what happens. You know what I mean? But you just gotta have patience. You know? Things don't always work out the first time, second or third, and then sometimes you just make it work. You know what I mean? You have to keep trying. In some cases, sometimes if you troubleshoot it as much as you can, and you know there's another alternative for it, and you do it right now, I look for every alternative. And I usually try to solve most of my problems, you know what I mean? But a lot of times, the hardest problem for me to solve nowadays is relationship problems. Believe it or not, that's the hardest shit because when you're dealing with people's emotions, it's a roller coaster. You never know. It's more volatile than the stock market.
Roller coaster of love.
Roller coaster. There's a myth behind that song. That somebody, person that's screaming in the background, was being deleted.
Oh my God.
In the studio. Look it up.
I don't want to. I'm done with the bad news.
See, that's what I mean, man. You can't let something like that get to you, man. You just gotta roll with it.
Because we desensitize.
Shit happens. Shit happens. We love that song. You always hear that scream, like that's somebody screaming in the studio.
I didn't know nobody was screaming. I just heard the singing.
In the beginning, like, scared somebody screaming. That's somebody in the studio.
Wow. And prayers out for them too.
I don't know if it's true.
I'm tired of it.
So, Google.
Ignorance is bliss. So good people. Thank you for tuning in. We really enjoyed you. Really appreciate you stopping by, the people that did come. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you're notified the next time we post or go live. And follow us on all of our socials. It's linked on the page, our social media accounts. We have TikTok, Instagram, and hit that Cash App too. We got that up there too. Support the channel. Even if you just send $1, it won't hurt.
A like is always.
Yeah, a like is free. So if you don't do that, hit the like button, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Black Wall Street event coming up. What date is it?
August 15th. Yeah, August 15th.
New
It's
Haven.
gonna be from 12 to 8, I think, on the New Haven Green.
Yeah, so come out and support. We're gonna be out there. Dwayne gonna be selling his Smiley gonna be selling his oil, Look of Kings. We got merch. So please support. Greatly appreciate it. And I discovered something. Never mind, I'm not gonna do it. All right. Have a good night. La Hefa out. Get lifted.
Appreciate you.